Sam Brock on this breaking news. Thank you, Sam.
Now to the White House and the three things to watch today. The Trump administration is pushing back as House Democrats launch the more public phase of their impeachment inquiry. NBC White House correspondent Kristen Walker joins us now with more on all of it. Kristen, good morning.
Hi, Craig. Good morning to you. Here are the three things you need to know this Tuesday. First up, the White House is intensifying its strategy of stonewalling subpoenas with at least 4 administration officials, including energy, expected to be no-show Capitol Hill this week. Now, House Democrats say that won't delay their work. President Trump, for his part, taking new aim, tweeting this morning at House Democrats, the do-nothing Dems have gone radical left crazy. They can't get anything done. Next up, later today, House investigators are expected to release the transcripts of 2 top diplomats who were central to the Ukraine controversy. They released the first round of transcripts Monday, including from the ousted ambassador to Ukraine, who told lawmakers she believes she was the target of a smear campaign by the president's allies. And finally today, we're just about a year away from Election Day, and there are new polls out this morning, including an ABC News Washington Post national poll, which shows top Democratic candidates beating President Trump pretty handily. Joe Biden fares the best, but polling in key battleground states is much more competitive. Craig?
Kristen Walker with the three things to watch from the White House. Kristen, thank you.
Meantime, more than 140 vegetable products sold in supermarkets nationwide are being recalled because of possible listeria contamination. They were distributed by Man's Packing, a division of Walmart. The recall covers a range of products from bags of fresh cut vegetables to vegetable trays and bowls. Many were sold under private labels, including Trader Joe's, Kroger, and Safeway Signature Farms. The recalled products have Best Buy dates. Grow your own shit. October 11th and November 16th. For more on this recall, you can go to today.com.
8:06, otherwise known as Boost the Clock.
Boost the Clock. Here we go. All right, a little boy who's so obsessed with American Ninja Warrior wanted to put himself to the test. So his dad set up this mini obstacle course right in their backyard. Little hurdle to climb over, a board to balance on, a bunch of running, things to crawl underneath. He reaches the home stretch, he crosses the finish line, and that's called crushing it, people. Wow.
It's so
cute. He's ready to go.
He's good, actually. Good.
Well, we've got a lot more ahead on this Tuesday morning, including an eye-opening look, a new look at the effects of screen time. Wait until you see what all those digital devices could be doing to your child's brain. We're going to have that and some help for parents when it comes to cutting back.
Then a bit later on Pop Star, Matthew McConaughey's gift to the world on his 15th birthday. Yes, he has joined Instagram. We'll hear from him right after this.
Gabrielle, the essence of a woman. Chanel.
Where's Chanel number 5?
At Macy's, the fragrance destination. You ready for the hottest trending of the holidays? That's a safety violation. With Vitamin Peachy.
Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline, New York makes every lash fully sensational. Our Vanity Brush volumizes every kind of lash. More sensational full fan effect. Lash Sensational, only from Maybelline, New York.
We were lost in a vast desert, completely devoid of basset hounds. Then it appeared. A beacon of hope.
I'm back in baby's arms.
More glorious than a billion sunsets. We were found.
I'm back where
Found by the hounds.
back in baby's arms.
Come on.
Don't worry, you're covered. And you're saving money because you bundled home and auto.
Sarah, get in the house.
We are all here for you. All day, all night.
Great job speaking calmly and clearly, everyone. That's how you put a customer at ease.
Hey, did anyone else hear weird voices while they were in the court?
No.
Yo.
Me neither. What?
Let me do me. Me do.
As long as I've got you.
You're rude. You are rude. You're so rude.
One cup at a time.
You mind your own business.
Searching for a way to help stop your cold sore? Only Abreva can get rid of it in as little as 2.5 days when used at the first sign. Abreva starts to work immediately to block the virus and protect healthy cells. Abreva acts on it so you can too.
We're attempting to figure out their father's cause of death. You mean if someone killed him? Everyone in the family has possible motive. I think you have something you want to tell me. Not acceptable. Rated PG-13.
What doesn't kill you?
Grammy award-winning global superstar, Kelly Clarkson. Invincible. The Las Vegas residency at Zappos Theater at Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. Kelly Clarkson. Performing select dates starting in April through September 2020. Free Silver City card members available now through Thursday, November 7th at 10 p.m.
Very
Or the general public on Friday, November 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific at kellyclarkson.com/Vegas.
Quit, man. Get me, go. Damn it, boo.
Pediatrics organization.
That's rude.
Concerning news about the effects of screen time and what it's having on the brain development of young
So
kids.
rude.
NBC senior national correspondent Kate Snow is here with more. Hey, Kate.
Don't show him what to do.
Apologies for my voice. But do we all have our phones right now? Yes, we do.
So screen time for adults has exploded, but also for our kids, and researchers are scrambling to figure out what impact it's having. This new study is the first to show that little kids watching YouTube, cartoons, games on screens may actually be reshaping their brains.
No shit.
Doctors at Cincinnati Children's Hospital studied screen use, including phones, tablets, and TVs, and its impact on preschoolers ages 3 to 5. 47 healthy kids underwent special MRI scans to map their brains and sat for language and literacy tests. Their parents completed a survey on how much their child watches screens and the kind of content they interact with. The results of those scans on kids who reported more screen time than the recommended 1 hour a day showed lower levels of development in the white matter in their brains.
Mm-hmm.
That's the area that connects brain cells to the rest of the
Dumbasses.
system and is associated with how quickly nerve impulses fire, particularly in key parts of the brain where language, literacy, and cognitive skills develop. Kids with more screen time were also more likely to struggle with words and took longer naming objects in written tests.
Oh, this is cool.
It's alarming news for parents of young kids like Julie Stahl. Julie's 3-year-old son Jack spends as much as 2 hours a day looking at
Stupid.
screens, and he's not
Fucking
alone.
dumbass.
American kids typically spend anywhere from 2 to 4 hours on screens each day.
It's terrifying, everything that you do as a parent. And I think we worry about everything that we do for our children.
The study doesn't prove the screens cause the brain changes, and the authors say more research is needed. Julie says she's responsible with monitoring Jack's screen time and doesn't consider giving him any less.
Hopefully we find out that it's not as bad as they say.
Stupid
The
bitch.
researchers say, sorry, what's also unclear is whether screens are to blame for developmental changes or whether it's that we're taking all this time away from other things, right? Like interacting with parents, reading, or doing things you could be doing when you're not watching a screen.
Okay, Kate, you may be excused. Little cold. Honey and lemon, poor thing. Let's bring in.
The doctor's in the
That was what I was saying. We got a doctor here. Dr. Torres, good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, this is really disturbing. A lot of us have young kids. We let them watch some screen. Is there kind of a bright line rule for how much is okay and how much is really not okay?
There are rules in the American Academy of Pediatrics.
What the hell are you watching for? You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing.
These screen times are bad. It's just they need to be used appropriately. And I thought one expert put it eloquently. He said,
He was digging yesterday. What was you digging for?
3 to 5 year old at all. Same thing here. You want to make sure that they get that parental time. So let's go over the screen times that the American Academy
what are they saying?
say are important. 0 to 18 months, they say they should have no digital media except for video chatting with relatives and things like that. 18 to 24 months, high quality media, but that should be watched with the child.
What's high quality?
just like Sesame Street and things like that, where they learn things because if they learn the letter C, then at dinner you can go for C. Name things here on the table that begin with C, that type of thing. 2 to 5 year olds, they say 1 hour per day is the maximum they should have. 1 hour per day.
Exactly.
It should be with somebody watching it with them. It should be, but not necessarily. And the one thing you want to make sure you do is avoid fast-paced, violent type programs. Get the media out of their rooms. That's a big thing, and don't use it to soothe the child. It's not being like a babysitter.
Some people do use it like at restaurants because you want like an hour break. If your kid has been watching too much of it, is there something you can do to kind of unring the bell?
There are things you can do, and this is not if your child has been watching a lot of media, the damage is already done, and there's nothing you can do. This is essentially you can start getting them involved with different things, and here are the tips that can really help a lot. Getting your child's brain developed, and the things we know that really help. Read together. It's extremely important to sit down and read together with your child. They're going to have tons of questions like kids always do. You're there to answer the questions. Talk, sing, cuddle, those things that you love to do with your child. It really helps with their brain development. Make sure they have unstructured playtime. And we've all bought gifts for our kids where they play with the box and you get frustrated. Let them play with the box. It's their imagination. And in physical activity, extremely, extremely important that they do things like that because that helps not only develop the body.
Get outside.
That's what our used to say to us.
Get outside. I see my 7-year-old like this watching YouTube. It's so close to her face. Is there any damage to like their eyeballs?
Of course.
Over time, we think there might be some issue with that. And so you want to make sure that they do that 20-20 rule where essentially every 20 minutes they take a 20-second break and look 20 yards away. That's a good thing to do.
I heard that.
Go ahead and stretch their eyes out a little bit. And then if they are doing that, just remind them, bring the screen a little bit away from them. They don't need to necessarily
In
have
terms
those.
of the brain development, what this JAMA study found, is there a difference between, say, watching TV, cartoons, and whatever you might see on a screen? Or is it just like any screen is
Number one, it was any screen time because it interfered with parent time or time by themselves. But the other thing is they found that violent, fast-paced action content was the one that seemed to cause the most issues. And so that's the one they're saying, especially young children, you want to avoid that, watch it with them, and make sure it's that quality program you're talking about.
All right, makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Go check in with the doctor.
Mr. Roker, you got to check the weather.
So no gifting Tom and Jerry to any kids. Okay, let's show you what we've got going on. Below average temperatures today. Jetstream dips to the south. Bismarck, Marquette, Chicago, all anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees below average. For tomorrow, we've got that cold air stretching from the plains all the way to the Midwest. And then as we move into Thursday, look at this. Buffalo, 11 degrees below average. Dallas, 7 degrees cooler than usual. Denver at 48, that's 8 degrees cooler. And this weekend, we've got chilly air. Friday, it's 44 in New York City, warms up to 50 by Sunday. 51 in Charlotte, 62 by Sunday. Even St. warming up to about 50 by Saturday. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Jamie.
I hate her dress.
We have rain moving out of the area for the afternoon. The clouds will break up, so we do get back to some sunshine, and temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler than they were yesterday. Overnight looks cold, and tomorrow we'll look for a mix of sun and clouds as we warm up a little bit again, back in the 50s. But today we're just going to be right around that 50-degree mark for a high, but at least the rain moves out, and we will get back to dry weather.
This Storm Team 2 forecast was brought to you by Wright Pat Credit Union.
Don't forget, if you're heading out the door, it's Sirius XM Channel 108, the Today radio channel on Sirius XM.
All right.
Thank you. How about a little
pop star? Let's get to the pop star. We'll move over Jennifer Aniston because Matthew McConaughey is now the newest celebrity to join Instagram, marking his 50th birthday. The Oscar winner decided it was finally time to join the photo sharing network. And so far, he has one post. It's a video. And it's him revealing his slight jitters about joining social media.
This is my first venture into sharing myself and my views with the world, and I'm a little bit nervous about it because, quite frankly, I know I want to have a monologue. I'm not sure I want to have the dialogue.
There you go.
Appreciate the
He also
honesty.
treated followers to an Instagram story, which is really about as McConaughey as it gets.
Boom, boom, bum, 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 bum. All right, Instagram, let's do this. Let's get some howdies going. Howdy.
I'll have what he's having on.
That's like one of those.
He's like a LinkedIn commercial.
Yeah.
Oh. but Abby, a lot better.
I'm getting to it.
Howdy.
Next up, Matt Damon. He stopped by Conan last night where the two of them were talking about the Bourne movies and all the stunt work that went into them. That eventually led Matt Damon into sharing a conversation that he had with the king of insane stunts, Tom Cruise, about how the Mission Impossible actor was able to pull off that wire work on the outside of the tallest building in the world just a few years ago.
He really wanted to talk about it. He said, I've been dreaming of this shot for 15 years, of this sequence, and finally I had a chance to do it. And I goes, well, so how did it come to pass? And he goes, okay. So I go to the safety guy. I tell him this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to explain the whole gag to him.
Right.
The safety guy says, you can't do that. He goes, that's too dangerous. And I'm like, And he goes, so I get another safety guy.
Makes you wonder how many safety guys Tom Cruise had to go through to finally get his permission.
The one that said yes?
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Olympian Shawn Johnson. Just a few days ago, the expectant mother shared this photo on Instagram showing off her Olympics leotard. Still sort of fits. And now we're happy to report Shawn and her husband, Andrew East, have welcomed a baby girl into the world, writing on Instagram, "You are our everything." Johnson has been very open about her pregnancy journey, revealing that she had suffered a miscarriage. They haven't revealed the name yet for the little girl, but we could not be happier for them both. And finally, Seth Meyers, the late night host, has a new Netflix special. It's out today. It's called Lobby Baby. If you haven't heard the story about the title, don't worry, you will. And the special sees Seth venturing out from behind the late night desk and onto the stage, which some may find jarring.
I know it might be a little weird to see me in this environment. Most of you are probably used to seeing me wearing a suit, sitting behind a desk. See me doing stand-up in casual clothes. It can be very jarring to see someone out of context, like when a kid sees a mall Santa getting into his Ford Festiva. I mean, it might be weird to even be seeing my legs right now. It's like that time Kermit rode a bike. It was fun, but you were like, are those weight-bearing legs?
And look who's here at the table.
No legs this far.
It's so
Yeah,
it's insane.
it was a delight to do it. It was a good time to do it.
Why now? I just wanted.
Well, it's a lot about my family and my kids and the ages they are now, and it just felt like, it was stuff I'm very happy to talk about and get it out now for forever.
And you have to explain Lobby Baby.
Yeah.
For those who don't know the story.
Yeah, my wife gave birth to our second in the lobby of our apartment building, and I always say to her, "You gave me something even better than a son. You gave me 10 minutes of content."
But also, Ash's birth is also like.
Yeah, well, our first son was almost born in an Uber, so we would definitely just get an apartment in a hospital if we had another one.
No one in your family apparently sequenced this.
Yeah.
Like your wife, your sister-in-law, your dad.
No, they all, that's the thing. Is like I try to pick up dinner when we all go out, and then in return, I get to use them and stuff.
That's the thing. If you don't do politics, you do your family.
Yeah.
Your wife's a former prosecutor. How did she take what you had to say about her?
There is a moment in the special where I lay out that because my wife's a lawyer and that she thinks you have to present both sides, I try very hard to get her perspective in the special as well.
You do a really cool thing because a lot of late night comics are doing politics.
Yes.
So there is something special that you have that you are not grooving on politics. It's a way to sort of jump past that little section.
Yeah, I had this idea, and the engineers at Netflix were very kind to build a button where you can click skip politics the way you would skip an intro. I should note that this is presented as something that if you actually do it, you will see as something else. Not to give too much away.
Wait, what? I heard the skip politics button works.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It does work.
Because the first line, when you skip it,
Just try it and see.
you don't want to give it. There's a button there.
I don't want to give it.
There's a
So
button.
when you first went to Netflix with this, were they like, we can't do this, did you have to get another safety guy like Tom Cruise in the stunt?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They said what they tried to lay out, and I will say as a writer, and for years this was true at SNL as well. Writers are these whimsical people who never realize the work that has to go into your idea. So you would come up with some insane set or some insane costume, and then smarter, more talented people would have to build it and make it. And they said, hey, this is actually harder to do than you think. And so then I recorded the special in a way to show them how it would work if they were kind enough to do it. And then they said, oh, we see what the joke is now.
How much content do you skip?
I think it's about 7 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite segment, by the way, you guys do every night. Not every night, but like the closer looks you guys do. The deep dive.
Yeah.
How much
much work goes into it?
And you have to ask the writers, and I don't really. I will say they seem tired.
Yeah. I'm walking through idiots, and there were two people. Their sole job is painting out the brand on your pencils.
Well, that was a while back. Yeah. No.
Wait, what?
They were, I walked by. They were.
When was this? This
yesterday.
No, that wasn't. Nobody's painting up
They
their
are
hands.
except as God is my witness.
What is this?
It's a yellow pencil. The taking the brand off the pencil.
See, this is the bummer because I had a deal with that pencil company. I gave a promise.
There were about 3 dozen pencils, and they're like, "We're painting says pencil."
Abundance of resources.
By the way, if you got the news that you were getting a job in TV.
Now when people ask you that question, when did you know you'd made it? You're like, when they started branding pencils.
Yeah, when the brand name on my pencils was so valuable, they had to paint it out.
Exactly. Now, did you have to run? You talked about your special again. Did you have to run the jokes by your wife, your kids? So
only my wife. My kids.
Your kids just.
Yeah. I paid for it years from when they started going to therapy.
Did your wife say that one's out? This one's no good. You can't.
She never said anything was out. In fact, there's one joke in it that she said, if there was one that you would take out, I would like it to be this one. And I said, I'm going to keep it in, but I appreciate that. I feel that way.
Even sleeping in the basement ever saw
You're like, your feedback is important.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
Thank you so much.
Don't forget, Late Night with Seth Meyers airs weeknights at 12:30, 11:30 Central, right here on NBC.
We'll see more in the third hour.
Indeed. Here all day. I'm doing the Little Watch fifth hour.
Right ahead, you guys, from Hamilton to Harriet, Leslie Odom Jr. is going to tell us all about his role, his new album, and he's going to perform live coming up after this.
Good evening, everyone. Reporting from here on the ground. Santa Ana winds are very strong. Fire has grown leaps and bounds into grown up. Do you feel like you're giving a green light to politicians?
No.
Lie.
NBC Nightly News.
At Value City Furniture, we know great moments deserve great furniture. Shop now and get 10% off. Plus, all active or retired military personnel save an extra 10% or enjoy 36-month special financing only at Value City Furniture.
At Stanley Steamer, we understand that no matter how clean you keep your house, over time, dirt, dust, and allergens are going to build up everywhere. Luckily, Stanley Steamer is here to not only leave you with a clean house, but leave your family with a fresh home. Stanley Steamer cleans carpet, tile, hardwood, even furniture. Call or schedule online at StanleySteamer.com and get back to clean. Now get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $99.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, get your home cleaner. This week at Value City Furniture, shop our Dream Mattress Studio and get this Dream Refresh Queen mattress with a free box spring. Now just $12.99. Plus, enjoy 36-month special financing. Only at Value City Furniture.
From WDTN, the station that's working for you, this is 2 News.
Good morning, I'm John Seibel. Topping our headlines this morning, a Dayton police detective is in critical condition after a shooting. It happened just before 7 last night on Ruskin Road near Cornell Drive. Authorities say the detective was part of a DEA task force serving a drug-related search warrant. The detective was shot during that operation. Authorities say he is in critical condition. 5 people are being interviewed in relation to that shooting. Authorities found fentanyl, cash, and several weapons inside the home. We will have updates on air and on the 2 News app as that story develops. All right, let's check in with Storm Team 2 meteorologist Jamie Jarosik with an updated look at your forecast. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning. We're going to see these morning showers come to an end and increasing afternoon sunshine with temperatures topping out near 50 degrees. It's going to be a little bit cooler than it was yesterday. And there will be a bit of a breeze, a west wind up around 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear, colder tonight. Will drop to 28, but tomorrow we warm back up. 53 will be partly sunny, nice and cool. In your Storm Team 2 7-day forecast, chance for some rain or snow showers as much colder air moves in late Thursday and on into the weekend.
All right, thank you, Jamie, for live coverage of all the day's top stories, plus Live Doc with 2 HD. You can tune in to Dayton Seat Upfield right now. We will see you again about another 25 minutes. Have a great Tuesday.
Before you start your commute, check live traffic cams online at WDTN.com.
I really think Dr. Pulkin saved my life. I was in a lot of pain. You can't walk, you can't do anything. I saw the commercial and I thought, well, maybe Dr. Pulkin can help me.
Why suffer if you don't have to? Call Polking Chiropractic at 299-2900 today.
Thanks to Dr. Polking, I can walk without pain. I don't need a walker. And it's just amazing, the results I've had from you.
My husband and I shared a wonderful life together, spending time with our grandkids. When he passed, Newcomer gave him a better service than our kids.
Spend less, leave more.
What's up? Shopping health plans. I just want good coverage we can afford. Why just good? You deserve better. Wouldn't that be nice? Check out Am Better. You get affordable coverage with benefits we can really use, and you could even get help paying for it. Seriously? So your health plan actually keeps your budget healthy too? Yeah. Now that is better. Much better. Huh.
Affordable coverage, valuable benefits. Now that's better.
2 News, brought to you by Fiesel. Watch 2 News at 6. We're working for you tonight beginning at 6 p.m.
Thursday, Jimmy's heading to Austin, Texas with Matthew McConaughey, Chip and Joanna Gaines, and Gucci Mane. And tonight, Fallon welcomes Adam Sandler and Jenny Slate. New Tonight Show. Then Seth has Kristen Chenoweth. All new tonight.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to today. It is Tuesday morning, the 5th of November, 2019. Good crowd out here on our plaza. Not too cold either. Still a little bit of warmth before we get to a real chill later.
It's kind of nice out here. Coming up, you guys, we're going to meet Jet Girl. She's a member of an elite naval team who has fought ISIS, and she found an unlikely sisterhood during her deployment.
Very cool story. Plus, it's a huge week for Leslie Odom Jr. He's got a brand new movie out, Harriet, which I'm dying to see. Plus, a new album, lots to talk to him about and everything he's up to. And he's going to grace us with a live performance.
And then this chef is cooking up Thanksgiving sides so good, you may forget about the turkey.
That should be yesterday's sweet potato.
Well, there you go.
Coming up on the third hour, just a few minutes from now, our new series. We're going to give you a new series. It's called United Today. It's all about people with different viewpoints having a conversation. No arguing, no anger, no belittling. And we're going to start with an NRA member and the mass shooting survivor sitting down for a fascinating conversation about gun laws in this country.
Great idea. Great idea. All right, Al, you got a crowd moment, don't you?
Absolutely. Let's head on over. Pardon me just a second.
Hi, Brenda Bulls.
Magical. It's about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child come to life on Broadway. Well, now you can get a brand new book, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, The Journey. It's a behind-the-scenes look at the production. James Snyder, who is the current Harry Potter, is with us. James, good morning.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. So what is it like playing this iconic character?
It's kind of intimidating at first, but really, I try and just do my best to get out of the way and let people see the character that they love up on stage and just honor the heart that Harry has.
And the magic of this is that there is magic on stage.
It's right there in front of your eyes. In the books, you use your imagination, and here we have countless illusions, just magic, and a great story.
Which is really terrific. And we got something special for the fans. Where's Isabel? Where's Isabel? Oh, here's Isabel. So you've got a little something special.
Well, I have a copy of the book here for you, Isabel. That's right. It's got amazing pictures and behind-the-scenes look. And then I also happen to have 4 tickets for you guys to go see the show.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Canada.
And you came in for your dad to run the marathon?
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, now you got a bonus. You get to go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Yay. And you got the book. Fantastic. James, thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
All right, and for more on the book, head to today.com/shopping. Let's check your weather, see what we've got going on for you. And as we start with today, we're looking at above average temperatures out west, another cold air mass coming out of the plains. We've got a lot of wet weather through the southeast. And then for tomorrow, some slow travel is the
You got a dog nose?
The warmth continues out west. Heavy rain in the central
now.
That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Jamie Drosik. We have rain moving out of the area for the afternoon. The clouds will break up. We'll get back to some sunshine. And temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler than they were yesterday. Overnight looks cold. And tomorrow we'll look for a mix of sun and clouds as we warm up a little bit again, back in the 50s. But today we're just going to be right around that 50-degree mark for a high. But at least the rain moves out and we will get back to dry weather.
This Storm Team 2 forecast was brought to you by Wright Pat Credit Union.
And that's your latest weather.
All right, Al, thank you so much. Coming up next, a pioneering fighter jet pilot with a surprising and inspiring story to share. We're going to hear from her. This is Today on NBC.
Save big money with your next project right now at Menards. Get a tool that's built to last with Boss Fish products. This long life, spill-free, and maintenance-free 6-gallon air compressor is lightweight and portable. Get it for just $99. Keep your car running smoothly with Shell Motor Oil. This clean engine motor oil provides economical value and performance in a trusted brand. $179 per quart. Save on everything for your home improvement projects. Right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Why do you need fast, reliable internet so your world doesn't turn upside down? Turn it around. Switch to Spectrum. And give your family what they deserve. Switch to Spectrum Internet for just $44.99 a month with free modem. Call 1-833-624-4499. Starting speeds of 100 megabits, you'll be able to connect your devices at the same time and with no data caps. Spectrum Internet has the fastest, most consistent download speeds based on the latest FCC report. AT&T can't say that. And with Spectrum TV, you get over 125 channels with free HD and free on demand. Plus, you get the free Spectrum TV app to stream your favorite shows and movies in and outside your home. Switch to Spectrum TV for just $44.99 a month. Call 1-833-624-4499 and no contract. Call and switch to Spectrum Internet and TV for just $44.99 a month each. Spectrum will even buy out your current contract up to $500. Call 1-833-624-4499. Turn your world around. Call now.
Update your floors with Empire Today's $50 room sale. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for just $50 each. So when you buy one room, it's only $50 for laminate in the kitchen, $50 for carpet in the bedroom, and $50 for hardwood in the office. There's no limit. Buy one room, and it's $50 for floors in each additional room. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire Today. We're back 8:36 with the inspiring story of a brave woman who's opening up about her adventures as a naval fighter jet pilot.
Carolyn Johnson flew F-18 Super Hornets as a member of the elite Black Lions. And in her new book, Jet Girl, she opens up about the highs and lows of life in the cockpit. Here's NBC's Stephanie Gosk.
What was it like the first time you got on an F-18? Oh, it was the coolest roller coaster I had ever been on. I couldn't get enough. It's one of the most exhilarating, dangerous, and critical military roles. Did you realize in that moment when you first started flight school just how dangerous it was? I had no idea. As an F-18 Super Hornet weapons system officer and pilot, Caroline Johnson was one of the first women to fly a combat mission over Iraq following the pullout in 2011, dropping bombs on ISIS. Explain to me just how dangerous it is on a flight deck in an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, so at any time, you're just seconds away from death.
After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy in 2009, Johnson joined the Navy's elite aviation team. During her deployment on the USS George H.W. Bush in 2014, her squadron employed the first weapons on ISIS in Iraq and conducted the first ever U.S. strikes into Syria.
I was in a combat operational squadron for 3 years, and I executed one combat deployment, and it was 9 months. In that time, I flew 42 combat missions and was quite engaged over there.
On these missions, what were you typically called in to do?
We were there to support the ground troops who were out patrolling and ensuring the safety of the Afghan people from the Taliban.
But the path to soar this high was often turbulent. You go into a lengthy description in the book about your first days with your squadron. Why was it so difficult?
You've gotten to the top of the totem pole in your last unit and you're back down at the bottom, which is always a very humbling experience.
Men usually dominated the culture, she says.
When things are said, hey, F you, that's a woman's job, it's like, wow, I didn't realize that's the point that we were at. You know, I thought we were peers and coworkers and just trying to help each other out. I grew so much from that experience.
An unbreakable bond was formed among fellow female fighters. She calls them the Jet Girls.
How important was that camaraderie, not just in flight school, but also afterwards?
Those are the most important relationships during that time in my life. And sometimes feeling excluded by the guys, having the girls to turn to, and the Jet Girls especially, it meant so much to me, and they really helped carry me through some challenging times in my life.
Johnson's latest adventure has her firmly planted on the ground. As a motivational speaker, she's now helping to ignite
My trash bag thing didn't work very well.
young men and women. Well, what do you think is the most important message that your story can convey to people?
What throw you curveballs? You're going to have bullies. You're going to have people who are going to try and knock you down from where you're at, and you have to overcome that.
Stephanie Goff reporting. Those fighter pilots are so impressive. By the way, we reached out to the Navy, which doesn't comment on individual accounts, but the Navy said, in part, naval aviation greatly values the service of its female aviators. Over the past decade, the numbers of female naval aviators have steadily increased, and we celebrate their many successes. And for more about the book, Jet Girl, you can go to today.com/shop. That's an awesome read. All right, guys, I got to go because I'm going over there. Because guess who's over there? Junior got a new movie, got some new music, going to be performing live. We're so happy that you're here with us, y'all. Harriet is a great movie. It's got a lot to talk about. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Monster Jam. Presented by official partners America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses and BKT Tires. Get a free ticket with a qualifying purchase at America's Best. White State Nutters, September, November 23rd through 24th.
Busy. That's life for you. So while you get to it, we're going nonstop to keep you running. No running around. For new key fobs. Plus, your neighborhood's largest selection of batteries plus bulbs. Plus, if your phone needs fixing, we do that too. Know how? Right now. That's our specialty. Power up at your local Batteries Plus bulb store or at batteriesplus.com for all your power needs. Yes, all of them.
World-class heart care is closer than you think.
Cleveland Clinic is #1 in the country for hearts. They saved my life.
With Cleveland Clinic, you'll have a team specialized in the world's most complex heart cases with an unparalleled record of successful treatments and access to the most advanced heart technology. It's why we're the nation's #1 heart program 25 years in a row. If you have a heart condition or need a second opinion, call Cleveland Clinic 888-678-0121.
Getting beautiful windows with Pella is easy.
Which is huge when you're putting together your dream house. We basically obsess over every detail.
Fortunately, so did our dedicated Pella advisor. He made the whole process smooth.
And we're confident because Pella offers the Pella Care Guarantee, which covers the product and installation. They perform over 7,000 quality checks in a typical hour.
They really take pride in what they do.
Like us.
Yeah, just look at all these pillows.
At Lowe's, just honor our military on Veterans Day. Over the past 5 years, our military discount has saved military families nearly $4 billion. And through our partnerships with the USO, AMVETS, and Operation Finally Home, we honor our military every day.
City Concert Series on Today is proudly presented to you by City.
From Hamilton to Harriet, Tony, and Grammy winner Leslie Odom Jr. is the star of both stage and screen. And to add to the excitement, he's out with a new album today. It's called Mr. Leslie. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. I'm very happy to be here.
I understand this is your first album of original material. Tell me about it.
That's right. It took me about 3 years. Lots of tears, lots of frustration in those 3 years. But we finally have something that I'm really proud of. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You're going to perform something in a minute from it. You're going on a tour. We'll get to that. But Harriet's out. Congratulations on that movie.
Thank you.
You play William Still, a real person in history, the conductor of the Underground Railroad, was a civil rights activist, and so much more. What did you learn about William?
It was really, growing up in Philadelphia, I knew about William's work with the Underground Railroad. I didn't know all the childhood stuff, raised by 2 escaped slaves. And so while he never spent a day of his life in chattel slavery, his parents' personal experience in chattel slavery gave him his life's work, his mission in life.
You've mentioned that you've been working on this record for 3 years. I mean, during that same time, you've really burst onto the scene with the performance in Hamilton. What's this time been like for you?
Oh, we exceeded my wildest dreams a long time ago. All this is gravy. The fact that I'm here talking to you guys again, I mean, this is all icing.
You grew up singing in church. You were in Rent when you were 17. Is this the life that you always wanted? Did you know you wanted to do this at an early age?
No, I never wanted to be in show business or TV and movies and stuff. I wanted to be in Rent. Like, that's all I wanted.
I guess at 17, check.
You could have retired right then.
Could have.
But we would have missed you.
Yeah, I'm grateful for all this stuff. And it's just,
you're too talented to be held down, man. And failing up to the book. I mean, the book has done great, everything. So good, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What about the tour? Where can people see it?
You can LeslieOdomJr.com. I don't know it off the top of my head.
But you're going out in March, right?
It's 30 days. It's all across the country.
That's right. Next year, early next year, we'll be out.
Okay.
Check you out.
And are you going to sing Go Crazy for us?
I am.
Okay. We're going to go crazy for you.
Sexy, something in the walls got a hold on me. She's destiny, Lord. I'm gasping for air. No, you won't believe me. You just had to be there. Hidey, 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 ho. Hidey, 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 ho. I'm addicted to the thrill, and I can't let her go. Heaven help me, I'm so helpless. Think I'm losing my control. Deep under her spell, away. I don't know how she feels. She doing the dark. I think she put a ring on my heart. I can't leave her alone, yeah. Whoa. She read me like a bone, yeah. Whoa. She make me go. Whoa. She make me go. She speaks like sweet tea. Her hips sway like the wind through the trees. Her kisses are my coffee flavored whiskey. I wanna take a hand to the tipsy. Hidey, 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 ho. Hidey, 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 ho. I'm addicted to the thrill. I can't let it go. Heaven help me, I'm so helpless. Think I'm losing my control. So deep under her spell, oh yeah. I don't know how she feels. She doing the dark. I think she put a good on the heart. I can't take her alone, yeah. Whoa. She read me like a bone, yeah. Whoa. She make me go. Whoa. She make me go crazy. She brings me straight to my face. Touches the sweetest thing. She's making a fool out of me. By your phone, when you got me, how did I go? If you don't see you soon, how to come to the room after her voodoo. I keep calling, trying to catch you, getting stuck in her places. Don't ever gonna be flirting. I don't know how she feels. She doing the dark. I think she put a ring on my heart. I can't believe it. Yeah. She made me, she made me, she made me go crazy. She made me go crazy. She made me go crazy. She made me go crazy.
Oh! Yes!
That's how you do it.
Leslie Adams Jr.
And the band, thank you so much. Wow.
Incredible band, the horn section
look out, hooligans.
They jogged the whole day. Oh, wow. Did you come back every morning and really got the blood flowing? Thank you.
Rocking it.
The album is called Mr. It's available today. Harriet, a movie from our sister company, Focus Features, is out in theaters. Congrats, so well deserved. Love having you.
So there you go, guys. That's perfect.
Awesome. Craig, over to you. Where are you?
All right, just ahead, we are going to get you thinking Thanksgiving with this guy. Chef Gucci's here. Some new ways to flavor up your feast. Comforting soup recipe that's perfect for the holiday, or maybe even tonight. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Don't you get in my bed.
At Value City Furniture, we know great homes deserve great furniture. Come shop with us this week and get 10% off. Plus, all active or retired military personnel save an extra 10%. Or you can enjoy 36 months special financing. Get the style you want at a price that leaves enough left over for the life you want. Now, only at Value City Furniture.
When you're ordering groceries, you want the freshest, most delicious choices around. Whether it's for a quick and easy weekday meal or a sensational Sunday celebration, we get you. And we've got that. And now you can get home delivery in as fast as 1 hour or enjoy same-day pickup at the store. Either way, we think you're really going to like how easy it is. See you online.
It's a good day to be alive.
At Cracker Barrel, we're cooking up warm feelings of home this season with country fried turkey, hand-breaded, fried till crispy, and topped with holiday herbed gravy. Our take on a festive favorite is back, and it's only at Cracker Barrel. So come on home for the holidays. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Yummy lip balm. Yummy lip balm? My lips get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keefe's Lip Repair. It's all-day moisture in one use and is guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked lips. Thanks to O'Keefe's, I got my lips back.
Belle, Fern, I'm off to college, and I'm not going to be around. I'm worried about my parents' retirement.
Oh, don't worry. Voya helps them to and through retirement. Dealing with today's expenses, like college, while helping plan, invest, and protect for the future.
So they'll be okay. Without me?
Maybe knock out this wall. Imagine the closet space.
Yes. Oh, hey, son.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Voya, helping you to and through retirement.
Well, this morning on Today's Food, we are thinking about Thanksgiving. So, with us all the way from Florida's Amelia Island, Chef Garrett Gooch. He is the executive chef at the Ritz-Carlton Resort there. He oversees 5 restaurants, including a fantastic spot called Salt, where they feature, you guessed it, salt. More than 40 different salts from around the world. This morning, Chef Garrett is here to help us whip up some side dishes that will go great with your turkey. But these are also dishes that you can just make on a random Tuesday night, too.
Exactly.
I want to start with the salt because you got some really cool salts here. Walk me through what we're
So what we have here is a citrus salt that can be paired great with any kind of appetizer, salad, even a light fish.
Yeah.
Next to it, you have a truffle Parmesan salt.
Okay.
Perfect for fries or anything along that. And we have a black garlic salt. And then at the very end is a nice spicy ghost pepper salt. So you want to be very little. Moderation is on that.
Ghost pepper. How salty is the pepper is it? Peppery, baby.
Just a little bit is perfect for it.
That's good. So you can, you're right. It does have a little bite. You can use salt to really spruce up a dish.
Spruce up a dish. Could be a whole other flavor component file to go along with it.
That is, wow. You're right. All right. Let's start with this.
So what we have here is something that's a staple. It's a butternut squash soup that I love to do. Anytime it starts to get fall, what you do is you get a butternut squash, you cut it in half, and then you want to make sure you can scoop it out. You can scoop it out with a spoon, ice cream scoop, anything along those lines. You're just trying to get the seeds out so that way you can get it to a point where you're going to get it in the oven and roast it and season it up.
Okay.
The trick for cutting the squash, I find it to be very difficult.
Big sharp knife.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to cut the bottom off, make it flat so it'll roll on you. Yeah. So you get a nice spot there. But next, what I like to do is I take the butter, throw it in the middle. Right?
That's a pro tip.
Yeah, as it starts to melt, you get that nice component that goes along with it. Sprinkle salt,
of course,
cinnamon.
Just regular salt, or
regular salt. This one I like to do regular salt because they're not trying to pull from those other flavors.
And why do you put the butter in there?
because as it melts down, it's going to start to absorb in as it starts to get soft. Because you can, yes, there you go. But it's noticed it's not a lot of butter. I try to keep it a little healthy there. Vanilla bean. Vanilla bean.
Oh, yeah.
And then the best part, you drizzle a little bit of honey over the top of it.
Well, this is next
level. As it starts to roast, it's going to absorb those flavors and make it very flavorful.
All right, so we throw that in the oven at what temperature?
So I do about 350 until it's about tender. It's going to be about 35, maybe 40 minutes until you get it tender enough that you can be able to get your finished product here. So what I like to do is you get this juice, the butter and everything, how it stays in the middle. You want to make sure you throw that inside here and get all the butternut squash inside.
And what were we simmering in this pot before we added the squash?
In that pot right there, we have Vidalia onions, Granny Smith apples that I peel, throw in, and I like to saute
the crowd goes wild.
So good. So you get a nice little caramelization on it. You want it translucent, but then I like to deglaze with apple cider around the season. I know it's time to make this when I go into the grocery store and I see it on sale.
That's
the time when I know I'm making this. I make it probably 3 or 4 times a year at my house.
Chuck, did you make this and then freeze it?
I do, actually. Right now, I just made it last week, and I have a small batch cryovac in my freezer, so I make a big batch of it, and then I kind of like.
Could you make it for us, and then we'll?
I can. I'll get it right up here for you.
So throw that in. We got about 90 seconds left.
Vegetable stock, right? So then you come over. You're gonna add your cream, your seasoning to taste.
And you can swap out the cream if you're.
Yeah, if you don't want to use
I would.
don't. You make it the right way. Come on. You hit the button. You go. Nice, boom, and then there you are.
And then you present in these nice little pumpkins. These have fun.
So I like to do it. It's just a fun little way to spice up the different dish that you're going to do.
Seems like you roasted the pumpkin.
I did. I roasted the pumpkin. You take out the seeds, same way you do the butternut squash. Little oil, little salt, pepper.
And then that pumpkin. I'm just kidding.
and really quickly here, you wrap with a beet sauce.
So I like to use red wine vinegar with my red beets. It helps intensify the flavor. But it's also a little trick I like. Once you start to peel the beets and you cut them, little oil, thyme, everything in there, and the vinegar. So once you go to your salad part, you're just adding olive oil, and it's already you have a dressing on top of there. We do a nice little thin sliced beet.
Be careful with that mandolin.
Pick it up.
One of those.
Yep. You want to be very careful with it. So you just do a nice thin. Yeah. And then you're going to overlap your beet.
Why do you peel after? Is it because it's easier?
Well, it's easier to peel after. Once you cook it nice and tender, you can use a paper towel, so that way it keeps your hands from staining.
And there's the finished product.
And you have your finished product.
Boys and girls, what's the verdict?
Amazing. Garrett,
thank you. Thank you very much. That was wonderful. I'm going to try this beet salad now. If you want the full recipes, by the way, it's today.com/food. We are back. Busy 3rd and 4th hours up to what's coming up 4th hour? What do you got?
Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen's back.
Oh boy.
3rd hour. Just
I'm making a panzanella.
Are you guys on a new magazine?
More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world. Chicago PD. Let's go. All new. With decisions made from inside our state capital or our nation's capital can have a big impact here. And 2 News is working for you from Columbus to Washington.
We're following breaking news out of Capitol Hill.
Let's go now to our 2 News Washington Bureau correspondent with Mark and Brooke. That decision will certainly be felt in the Miami Valley. That vote is
keeping you informed on the important issues that matter to you and your family.
This controversial bill could be felt across the state of Ohio.
At 2 News, we're working for you. From WDTN, the station that's working for you, this is 2 News.
Good morning, I'm John Seibel. Top of our headlines this morning. It's election day here in Ohio. More than 30 ballot issues will be decided in Montgomery County alone. Polls opened at 6:30 this morning, and they will stay open until 7:30 tonight. You will need to bring some form of ID in order to vote. Now, that ID can be a driver's license, a state or military ID, or even a utility bill, bank statement, paycheck, or government document with your name and your current address. For complete election coverage, go to WDTN.com and make sure there you click on your local election headquarters. All right, let's check in with Storm Team 2 meteorologist Jamie Jarosik for a look at today's forecast. How are we looking, Jamie?
Well, we started the day pretty rainy, but we're seeing some sunshine for the afternoon. So the rain ends, decreasing clouds, and we should be up right around 50 for a high. Temperatures running slightly below normal. It'll feel cool. Overnight down to 28. We do turn colder with mostly clear conditions. And then tomorrow we're up to 50. A partly sunny, nice, cool afternoon for Wednesday. In your Storm Team 2 7-day forecast, and rain showers Thursday may change over to snow in the evening into the overnight. Will be a lot colder at the end of the week.
Hold the snow. Thank you, Jamie. We're tracking the day's top stories as they develop. Make sure you stay with 2 News and WDTN.com for live updates. Have a great Tuesday.
What do Granite Transformations customers say?
I absolutely love it.
People are impressed. They can't believe it's the same kitchen.
It's just brought our kitchen into this decade.
It looks beautiful, and my wife is happy. Call today to get started.
With laser measured floor liners and cargo liners, bump step, plus the cup phone to secure your phone, seat protectors, or no drill mud. WeatherTech's American-made products are perfect protection for any season. Order at WeatherTech.com. WeatherTech, made right in America.
People that work at Synchrony care about each other.
I feel like a family.
We try to support each other.
People I work with are very friendly, family.
We're hiring call center representatives in Dayton, starting at $15 an hour, with generous benefits.
The healthcare is fantastic here.
Tuition reimbursement, 401k, the vacation time.
Change what's possible. Apply at syfcareers.com or text SYF6 to 90206.
Wednesday, say farewell to the Queen. I love you so much. The television event, Dogs Most Wanted, season finale, Wednesday at 9 on WGN America.
Granite Transformations create your dream kitchen or bath in just one day. The product looks great. We couldn't be happier.
The one-day installation is absolutely fantastic.
It's painless, it's quick, and it's classic.
For your free in-home consultation, call today. Live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza, this is the third hour of today.
Good morning, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the third hour. Today I'm Chanel here with Al, Craig, Dylan. Why are we being so deliberate? I'm slowing down because you screwed it up yesterday.
We do have an extra chair, and we'll explain why in just a second.
So we have a good show coming up today. I feel like we've got stuff to make you think, stuff to make you laugh. Like I feel like we have the full smorgasbord, if you will. Yes.
Buffet.
That we love here. So we're watching a new series. It's called United Today. You've been working hard on this one.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's all about people who have opposing viewpoints, having a civil conversation. So recently I sat down with a mass shooting survivor and an NRA member, and we talked about gun laws in this country. We talked about other things related to guns as well. It is a fascinating conversation, discussion. You don't want to miss it. It's coming up in just a few minutes. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it plays out in that setting. Then a little bit later, we're going to switch gears and have some laughs with former Parks and Rec actor Jenny Slate.
Speaking of laughs, we have a very special guest this morning. Woke up early just for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Meyers. Wow. I'm not used to seeing you casual.
Thank you. And can I just say, my wife did not like this sweater this morning.
Why?
Please.
Why?
Thank you. I like that you were.
Is it cashmere? I touched it. I don't know if that's. I don't know. I'm not allowed to do, but it's very soft.
Go ahead.
It's very soft.
Thank you. And yet she just gave me one of those looks.
What would you rather? I don't know.
You know, it's inscrutable.
We have a tradition here, Seth. Whenever we have a
You're not saying inscrutable?
we take a selfie.
You just put my.
There you go. Okay.
And then add you to the wall.
Add you to the selfie wall.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's funny because as a wife, I too would critique an outfit, but offer no possible suggestion. Just critique.
Not a way out.
Yeah. So this year, we'll talk more about this. You've got a great new Netflix special.
Yeah.
That's right. A lot of folks probably find it hard to believe. This is your first one.
It's my first one. Yeah.
So we'll talk about that.
Thank you.
We also have him here because today marks 1 year.
1 year.
1 year from the election. How about that, guys?
It's election day here and all across the country.
Oh man.
Still 8 Democratic primary debates left.
Only 8.
One of which will be co-hosted by MSNBC and the Washington Post later this month. You do a lot of politics on your show.
We do. It's an interesting time to have a late night show because I feel audiences really engage with it. They like to talk about it. They like to hear about it, and I think they appreciate any time you can lay it out in a way that also has jokes. Makes it go down a little bit easier.
More digestible. Can I tell you, there would be sometimes things are going on. I remember when things happen in Syria or what have you, when it gets kind of wonky and nuanced and people don't understand it. They'll go to the late night shows. They'll go to your show. They'll go to the Daily Show. They go to shows to try to almost
make it clear, try to, palpable. I think people have a thirst for it. They have a desire.
I always say, I think we're all, everyone you mentioned are good secondary news sources. I feel like you try to get it from the news first. That's where we're getting it. Yeah, of course. I know what people are at.
People do see you guys that as their primary news source. Do you feel a certain responsibility?
We do feel the responsibility to get the facts right, and try to lay it out in a way that can make it, for people who aren't maybe, fully engaged in stories like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And,
Why are you so rude?
We don't, we think fair means to be honest and to get the facts right. And so we try really hard.
You do. Okay, well, speaking of Election Day, I'm late on this one. There was another vote last night on Dancing with the Stars. I haven't had a chance to see it. Apparently, former Press Secretary Sean Spicer gaining enough votes once again to avoid elimination.
Look how surprised she is.
Yeah, that's a professional dancer.
Right? And she's surprised.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been watching it, apparently throughout his time on the show, he's received low scores from all of the judges, but he continues to receive support from the public.
Because the president keeps voting out, tweeting out, vote for Sean Spicer. He did it yesterday. He said, vote for Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars. He's a great and very loyal guy who's working very hard.
I've actually caught a few clips. Well, whatever your politics, and I know Sean, and I don't want to, but he's a bad dancer.
But the best part is
partisan position.
The costumes they put him in are meant, obviously, to humiliate him at every step of the way.
Well, maybe people feel like, see, that's the thing. When you try to tell people how to vote, then they're going to say, you know what? Okay, well, we're going to vote for him. Apparently, last night, the head judge, Lynn Goodman, he shared an honest reaction. Listen to this about Sean.
What do you think?
Wow. We keep throwing you out the boat, and the viewers keep throwing a life preserver. Why not?
Well, there you go.
Spicer will probably be there until the finals.
You'll see.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Have you seen him dance at all, sir?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing. It's in a costume.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So here's what's interesting.
Not a hole in my life.
If you don't want to talk about politics in your new Netflix special, which I don't know how you got Netflix to actually do this.
Yeah.
Skip politics.
Yeah, there's a when it gets to the section about politics, I lay out an option for the viewers where they, and I have to thank Netflix and their hardworking engineers who actually built a skip politics button that you can jump ahead in the special to when I stop talking about.
Do you just jump ahead or is there something?
There's a payoff to it.
Why did you feel compelled to
I think you'll see it, and you'll see that really it seems like I'm talking about a serious option for people, but really the whole thing might be a joke.
It's a little dark. By the way, the special's name is Lobby Baby.
It is called Lobby Baby.
And for those who don't know, could you tell us?
Why? Yeah, which one do you got for us? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there he is. Those are my boys.
You have two sons.
Yeah, my baby Axel.
My wife goes down and she lies on her back in the lobby, and I.
Okay, well, I think that's
kind of a good joke.
Yeah, well, I was going to explain it, but that really laid it out. He was born in the lobby of the apartment building because he came really fast.
Which one was born in the lobby?
The little one. Yeah.
Like, how does a baby come that fast? I'm thinking when I gave birth to my son, I mean, it was hours of excruciating pain before.
I could answer that question, but I still don't really understand how any of it works. The baby, there's a birth canal. No, he, well, our first one came very fast, was almost born in the backseat of an Uber. And yeah, she's just, I will say, watching a baby get born in the lobby of your apartment building, the only thing I'm so happy was the second one, because they all look wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and when the first one was born, I saw it happening, and I was like, well, this is obviously something terrible happening, and yet all the doctors were like, this is totally normal. So having been with medical professionals the first time, I mean, with the second one, if it was the first one, I would have watched it and been like, I don't think any of us are going to make it.
So like, it was the doorman, the Godfather?
Our doormen, we're very lucky to have two doormen on duty, and we pay for both of their therapies.
Back with a little shot here. Let's take a look.
Okay.
So my wife chooses lobby, and my wife goes down and she lies on her back in the lobby, and I cannot stress to you how quickly she gave birth to our son. I was on the phone with 911, and this was the extent of my conversation with 911. We're about to have a baby. We're having a baby. We had a baby. And let me tell you, it is very strange to be on a 911 call that ends with the operator saying, "Congratulations!"
Did you enjoy it? Doing the special?
Yeah, it was a really fun thing. It was very enjoyable. It is a very much a departure from what I do every night on late night, and it's a lot of talking about the people that are dearest and nearest to me, and often at their expense. Yeah, it's they are okay with it, and I'm very lucky to have people who keep generating content. Yeah, I generate the comments. They generate the
If you have a third child, perhaps you should just stay like in the apartment.
Yeah.
Get a doula.
Absolutely.
I walk around with someone. While you're here, let's talk about this because there's this website. It's called Man Repeller. Yes, it's a real website. It's called Man Repeller.
I think it's a good idea.
They're advocating for making friends with someone in the office bathroom.
In the bathroom.
The writer started a new job. He started striking up conversation. They had colleagues in the bathroom. Eventually, everyone started to know who she was.
I think girls' bathrooms and men's bathrooms are totally different. Girls, we put on our lipstick, you bond.
Okay.
It's a chance to bond. What are the rules in the men's room?
No, I don't want to make any new friends.
No eye contact.
I never walk into the bathroom like, I hope I walk out of here with one more friend.
Shoes.
No.
I feel like that's where we connect.
Yeah.
Because
Good for you.
you know me. I make friends in restaurants.
Well, I don't know you in the bathroom.
Well, no, but I'm saying because then after you've kind of connected, then you go back on the hallway, you see her again, you're like,
right.
Yeah.
So this is a thing?
Yeah.
I think it's a thing. I just didn't know guys don't even communicate in the bathroom.
No.
When I see someone I saw in the office bathroom, I make as little eye contact as if we murdered someone together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, last question. Do you ever wonder how to politely end a conversation? Let's say, we have the holiday season coming up. You're going to a cocktail party. You're talking to somebody, right? You're tired of talking to me. How do you get out of it?
See, it's problematic because I finished my drink. And so over the course of the evening, based on the number I have to end.
That's genius, actually.
Yeah, but it's not if you've got a full nog, then, yeah. So, but that's historically what I've done.
I'm really bad at it because I'm not very good at chit chat.
Mhm.
So after the first couple minutes of how the kids, blah, 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 I'm like,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just a nodder and I don't know what to do and I don't know how to get out of this situation.
We might all see each other at there's probably going to be an NBC holiday party. So let's just all, the five of us, agree right now that, I think we should all just agree that when we're talking to each other, any one of us, we should have a safe word. What's a safe word? Let's just say it's, mistletoe.
Okay.
All right, so why don't you just go mistletoe? That means you done.
All right.
The life hacker says you should invite the person to lunch. I think it's the worst idea possible.
Or just be like, let's get a sandwich in the bathroom.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's grab lunch or coffee sometime. Then you have to. No, but then you have to go to lunch with that person.
I think you have to follow up on it.
They're going to follow up
down the road.
If you invite them to lunch, they're going to follow up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm having as miserable a time in the conversation as
I
you
don't
are.
think so. I'm not. No. I just basically say, oh, it's been fun, but I got to go mingle.
Dang.
And I just walk away.
You're just very honest, right?
Here in the studio.
Mistletoe.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, bathroom.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Nice, guys.
Yeah.
Baby. It's streaming now on Netflix, right? You can watch it right now. Don't watch it right now.
No, we're still on because we got one mother's advice for surviving the holiday season that you might want to add to your plans. We'll be right back. Mistletoe.
More to come on the third hour of today. Our new series, United Today. It's a conversation, not an argument.
The Second Amendment is not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's an American thing.
An NRA member and a man who survived the Pulse nightclub shooting sit down together for a frank conversation about gun laws and to share a message we all need to hear. Plus, 50 years later, why one woman is taking a fresh look at a secretive study that changed mental health care. All that and more when the third hour of today returns in just 60 seconds.
This is 227-time State Fair baking champion Lynn Brookley Smith.
229.
Oh, sorry. After 50 years of baking with dairy butter, her granddaughter was a little concerned.
Do you know how much butter that is?
I love butter.
So she convinced Lynn to enter this year's competition with new Country Crock plant butter.
What do you think, Grandma?
I'm going to have to build a bigger ribbon case.
New Country Crock plant butter cooks, bakes, and tastes like butter. Even butter lovers love it.
Start the holiday season at Ulta Beauty and get ready to give, gather, and glow. Fairlife is milk that gives you more. It's ultra filtered for 50% more protein and 50% less sugar. This holiday, bring more to the table with Fairlife ultra filtered milk.
Okay, welcome back. I'm reading this story trying to understand what it means. So we all know the holidays are approaching, right? A lot of people are cooking, they're shopping, you go to places and they have the Christmas pillows and the Christmas decorations, all the stuff already. Well, it can be overwhelming. One writer says she's getting a lot of attention. She says that's why she's scheduling a holiday break, if you will, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And she suggests that you try to do that too. So I was trying to figure out how you technically do that. I guess this year, there are really only 3 weeks between the two holidays.
Thanksgiving is very late.
It's so late. So the writer of this article, she decided to schedule one full weekend to take a break.
And she's got 2 kids.
She has 2 kids. But in some ways, I guess, you know what, go for it.
See, my problem with that weekend, weekend, it's Calvin's birthday.
Oh, well.
So, like,
Sorry,
I have to jam that in there, too. And then as soon as the holidays are over, then this baby's, it's like, I feel like I can't be more stressed going into
See, I think
holidays.
that was taking the break would stress me more.
Yes, because you want to get things
because now
done.
you've got to squeeze everything else into the remaining time.
Do you get stressed for holidays?
A little bit. Oh, sure.
Oh,
you know.
what?
Well, you know, Leela's overseas, so we got to get her back. We schedule trips, this, that.
So it's stressful. But I will say, once you finally like get the family together,
It's great.
favorite
Right.
time of year.
I think her whole point is that let's try not to stress over it because at the end of the day, we're all together. That's what's
But
important.
there's just a lot to get done. I put together a calendar for my family every year. I take all the pictures from this year and I put them into a nice organized calendar.
Yeah.
But I've got one for Brian's side of the family. I've got one for my side of the family. My parents are separated, so I've got one for my dad, one for my mom, and it just turns into 5 different calendars that I need to. And I'm so stressed over it right now. So I'm like, I know I should be starting because I've been doing it for the last 10 years.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the deal. Don't do it.
The only thing I'm stressed about are holiday cards.
Yeah.
Let everybody else
It's
do
a good
this.
gift. Then I got to get another gift.
I'm glad you said that.
What?
We haven't even scheduled a holiday.
We haven't.
I haven't done a holiday card.
Thank you. Thanks for adding to the space.
That's the only thing.
I just finished my holiday.
Of course you did.
Okay, so we
You
have
got your sweaters, your matching sweaters?
No, we're not doing that.
You're not going to match this year?
We always look forward to
I
matching.
don't think I'm doing that.
Why would you kill the matching
I
sweaters?
don't know. Well, we did the suit. We did sweaters the year before. We did the suits this year. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Well,
think they have
by the way,
to
speaking
match.
of Thanksgiving, Pringles,
Yeah.
they've released Thanksgiving-inspired chips as if we needed them.
Wow.
When they're dusted with the hot pink.
I will tell you, when we were talking about this story, Craig Melvin, there was a passion that I've never seen.
You used a curse word.
I know.
See, I didn't go that far.
But so that's, you taste it and guess what it
So
is.
this one, you guess. Don't look at the prompter.
I can't tell.
Well,
Does it taste like a
it's
chip?
turkey.
Oh, I don't think I want to try turkey.
That's
Okay,
turkey.
the
Now you
next
taste
one.
this one.
No.
You guess.
I do not like it, Sam. I am. Can I just tell people at home?
No, you have to.
No, I don't know.
No, it's a duck flavored Pringle.
Don't bully.
I'll try. I'm going to this
Pringle
stuffing.
bully.
How about pumpkin pie on the end?
Oh, stuffing's good.
Try it.
Oh, where's my stuff?
Don't like stuffing.
We've been told to move on.
Okay, we got to move on.
All
You
right.
guys don't like watching us eat potato chips?
Yeah.
Have you ever had the turducken?
No. Have you?
No. Well, we made it once here. It's ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What is it?
Well, it's a turkey. It's a turkey stuffed with a duck stuffed with a chicken.
Terrible.
Which one?
That was terrible.
Is that cranberry or something?
Really?
I could have told you that.
Eat it.
You know, we love hearing from our viewers, and we're still answering your questions about us.
Yeah.
So send us anything that you might be curious about to our Instagram page at Third Hour Today, and we will try to answer them as honestly as possible.
All right. That will be. Is that
We'll be right back.
Ahead on the third hour today, our new series, United Today. People with opposing views come together for a civil conversation.
My hope is that people are willing to break through their ecosystems.
This morning, a gun rights advocate and a mass shooting survivor sit down to talk about gun laws and whether it's possible to find common ground. Plus, inside the mind of Parks and Rec alum Jenny Slate, why she's opening up about loneliness, stage fright, and loving yourself.
Hey, face.
Oh, yes. So that just leaves Mother Rose.
Artist Belanis. You're kidding. From Mother Rose?
It's perfect. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Another
another one from Mother Rose?
Yep, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Everything was so fresh in the beginning, but that plug quickly faded. Luckily, there's Febreze Plug. It cleans away odors and freshens for 1,200 hours. Breathe happy with Febreze Plug. You can't fake the goodness of real strawberries, the crunch of real almonds, the taste of real raspberries. We use real ingredients because you can't fake delicious. Special K.
I'm here, and suddenly my migraine takes me somewhere else, where there's pain and nausea. But Excedrin pulls me back in a way others don't, and it relieves my symptoms fast for real migraine relief.
Here we go again. We'll give a little bit. We'll give a little bit of your love.
Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline, New York. Makes every lash fully sensational. Our bedding brush volumizes every kind of lash. For sensational full fan effect. Lash Sensational, only from Maybelline, New York. Alex isn't just at Taekwondo practice. She's at Taekwondo practice, showing off how strong and confident she's becoming. The new Yoplait smoothie for big little wins. Cake in the conference room. Show them you're ready
Cake in the
to be
conference
your
room.
own boss. That's the beauty of your smile. Crest 3-dimensional whitening removes stains, whitens in between teeth, and protects from future stains. Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
I didn't have to shout out
Of a
for help.
tablespoon.
I didn't have to get you a lift.
This is a
I
4.
didn't have to call your wife to meet at the doctor.
Because you didn't have another DVT. Not today. We discussed how having one blood clot puts you at risk of having another, so we chose Xarelto
Hello.
to help keep you protected.
Xarelto is
Nothing
proven to
what
treat
you
and
do.
reduce the risk of DVT or PE blood clots from happening again.
Oh, really?
In
Why
clinical
is that?
trials, almost 98% of people did not have another DVT or PE.
How'd I
Don't
dump
stop
you?
taking Xarelto without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of blood clots.
Well, I thought
Taking
you would have
a
spaced that when you
injection
have to
increases
talk
the
to
risk
me,
of blood
so.
clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. You may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to
Well,
stop.
it's been days. I thought
Cause
since you lived in
serious and
Zoom,
rare
that you
cases
know, you'd
of
at least call me
It
once a
may
day.
increase
So.
your risk of bleeding if you take certain medicines. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. Do not take Xarelto if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. Before starting, tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Well, you haven't been
and
over
any
in what,
liver
3 or 4 days, so what's the
Enjoy
difference?
every moment and help protect yourself from an unexpected one, like another DVT or PE. Are you doing enough? Ask your doctor about Xarelto. To learn more about cost and how Janssen can help, visit Xarelto.com.
I don't know. I should have people that there.
Noted. Introducing the Capital One Walmart Rewards Card.
Oh.
I love it.
That's a good one.
Earn unlimited 5% back on everything you buy at Walmart Online.
What?
Perfect for all their hits. Okay. The Capital One Walmart
Oh.
Rewards Card.
What do you
Unlimited
want?
5% back at Walmart Online and unlimited rewards everywhere else.
What's in your wallet?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, excuse me, someone is up here. Superstore, new Thursday.
And welcome back. Today is Election Day, and we're now less than a year away from the 2020 presidential election. So here's the reality. With the holidays approaching, that may mean uncomfortable political conversations at family gatherings.
So that's why we're launching our new series, United Today. The aim to get people who have opposing views on some hot button issues talking. No fighting, no yelling, no finger pointing.
No belittling either. Over the course of the next year, that's right, for a year, we're going to sit down with real people who have strong opinions, but these people are open to hearing from the other side as well. Our first topic, gun laws.
Once again, we're waking up to news of another mass shooting.
29 lives lost, 29 families shattered. It's a cycle that's become predictable.
People are struggling for answers in the wake of this attack inside a synagogue here.
Funerals, then vigils, then calls to change gun laws. And then another mass shooting.
Oh, quit, Bear. Quit it.
sees guns quite differently. Rhonda Ezel has lived on the south side of Chicago all her life. What is it like now? How would you describe it?
It's a lot of gang violence.
Rhonda is also a proud member of the National Rifle Association and has actually won 2 federal lawsuits against the city of Chicago to protect her right to own guns. Have you ever had to use it?
No, absolutely not. And I hope I don't ever have to use a firearm. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to be prepared.
She's sharing her passion for guns with her 9-year-old granddaughter.
When she goes to college, it's not going to be a me too. It's going to be a not me.
31-year-old Brandon Wolf is a survivor of the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida. You remember the gunfire that vividly?
Yeah. It's something that you can not only see, you can hear, but you can feel it.
2 of Brandon's best friends were among the 49 people killed. He's now made it his mission to change gun laws, recently testifying before Congress.
People who shouldn't have guns don't get them.
You were the survivor of one of the deadliest shootings in American history, and you have fought to protect gun rights through 2 lawsuits and won them both. Why agree to sit down and talk to each other?
Why not? And at some point in time, America has to realize that just because you may not see eye to eye with an individual doesn't mean that you can't sit down at the table and communicate. We all want to be safe. We want the violence to stop. And we don't want mentally ill people who are a threat to themselves and others to have firearms. There's 3 things right there.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We may not always agree on how to get there.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Rhonda and I agree that we want our communities to be safer.
If we can agree on those things, then why can't we advance the conversation?
Because what's happening in America right now is it's all politicized.
On both
it's
sides?
way bigger on every side.
The conversation turned to how the Second Amendment should be interpreted.
The Second Amendment is not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's an American thing.
Well, what about those who would say that the Second Amendment was written at a time when it took, I think, 13 seconds to reload a musket, and that the founders never envisioned the kind of weaponry that exists on the south side of Chicago or at a nightclub in Orlando?
The Second Amendment wasn't written about what type of firearm you could have. The Second Amendment was clearly written and put in place to keep the government in check.
I think it's important to remember that the founders also put in place several layers of government to continue to interpret that document based on what's informing it today. Second Amendment's not going anywhere, but that right is also not limitless, right? It's the same reason you can't buy a Black Hawk helicopter and fly it into Washington, D.C.
Another controversial issue many are talking about these days, red flag laws, court-ordered gun confiscation for people deemed dangerous.
States that have enacted specific legislation that helps to prevent people at a high risk for committing acts of violence from getting their hands on firearms have seen a reduction in violent homicides by 36%.
You seem skeptical about red flag laws.
Well, red flag laws is not going to stop the next mass shooting or any other shooting.
And what would be the harm in a federal red flag law?
The risk is disarming a law-abiding Americans without due process. You don't even know if they committed a crime, but yet you're going to go into their home, you're going to disarm them, you're going to force them to go to court, pay fines and fees to prove themselves innocent of something they haven't even done. They haven't even committed a crime.
If I can offer a story, the shooter at Pulse had on several occasions done things that to other people looked like he was a danger to himself and others. So on multiple occasions, there were these warning signs, there were red flags that told people that this person was potentially violent. There was no law that would say if I went to the police and told you that this person is potentially dangerous, they could then go through the process of getting a court order to remove their firearm. And then when somebody shows up to a nightclub holding an assault rifle, can we truly be surprised that we have known all along?
There's more to the conversation. When we come back, we talk about the calls to restrict high-capacity magazines and the one thing that they both agree on. We'll be right back. Much more to come on the third hour of today. Her diagnosis became a movie.
And he took my parents outside of my hospital room, and he said to them, her brain is on fire.
Now, this author is telling a new story her findings about the secretive study that forever changed how doctors treat mental health. Plus, former Parks and Rec actor Jenny Slate on sharing her most personal thoughts and why she loves to read to a donkey.
It's JCPenney's biggest sale of them all this weekend. Shop codes for the family, $12.99 men's and women's tops, or air fryers, or take an extra 20% off with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. Come in and save big at JCPenney.
So, you want to get creative with your oatmeal. First, you need whole grain Quaker oats, and maybe a bit of tried and true. Then add some solid choice. Your perfect bowl is yours to create. Our oats, your creation. Quaker Oats.
Pet care ain't easy. 12 hours, 20 dogs? Where's your belly rubs? After a day of chasing dogs, you shouldn't have to chase down payments.
Send invoices and accept payments to get paid twice as fast.
It's time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
This is what real food looks like. Fresh, real meat and veggies. The food dogs were built to eat. The Farmer's Dog is changing the way we feed our pets. Visit tryfarmersdog.com to see your dog's personalized meal plan.
You don't let a cold ruin your day. You take DayQuil Severe Liquicaps and crush it. DayQuil Severe, the daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, sore throat, power through your day medicine.
Nobody gets your carpet, tile, or hardwood as clean and healthy as Stanley Steamer. Call or go online for our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, get your home cleaner.
Making the most of family time means taking over the kitchen on the weekend. And while my breakfast might be different than mom's, that's part of the fun. Make the most of family time with Pillsbury Grand's Biscuits.
Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline, New York makes every lash fully sensational. Our Vanny Brush volumizes every kind of lash. For sensational full fan effect. Lash Sensational, only from Maybelline, New York.
Find something incredible from somewhere amazing. Unique selection, unbelievable prices. Home Goods, go find him.
Don't miss the final season of The Good Place.
What the?
Thursday.
When it comes to cleaning your air ducts, it takes the trained professionals at Stanley Steamer using the most powerful equipment to get the most powerful results. We clean your entire system. Call today and save.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Pets. They see everything we do. And they never say a thing.
Well, I feel better.
That's why Progressive covers them in your auto policy at no extra charge.
I only needed a spare.
Keeping you and your secret keepers safe.
Wait, you mean my warranty doesn't cover leaks?
Sorry, man. You'll have to contact your shingle manufacturer.
But you installed my roof.
Make things weird or whatever, but
This is a traditional roof warranty. This is a Fiesel warranty. At Fiesel, we offer a true lifetime warranty on all labor and materials. No asterisks, no middleman, no fine print. Lifetime warranty, price match guarantee, 12 months savings cash finance. Schedule your free inspection today at FieselInc.com.
When was your last professional cleaning? 6 months? A year? Maybe it's time to get back to clean. Now get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for just $99.
We're back on the third hour of today with more from our new series, United Today. Real people having tough conversations without all the yelling.
Yeah, we've been hearing from Pulse nightclub shooting survivor Brandon Wolf and Rhonda Ezell, an NRA member and founder of Chicago Guns Matter. We're picking up the conversation with one hotly debated proposal. So you don't think any legislation would stop?
Because at the end of the day, we could have all the legislation on the book that we want. What prevents an individual from getting up, walking out the door, choosing to commit that crime? We have red flag laws. We have a federal firearm licensing law. We have an AR-15 ban in certain municipalities. We have a magazine ban in certain municipalities. And yet, we still see the shooters and killers. We're the third largest city in the nation. We're in the news every day because of the shootings. This is a prime example. It doesn't matter where you put the situation. This is a fact shown and proven that the laws exist and they are not working.
I agree that the laws that have been put into place in Chicago and other municipalities are not as effective as they could be. So if I can go from Chicago, drive 3 hours to Indianapolis, pick up a gun of any kind that I want and come back, what is the purpose of having the law in Chicago and not across the board? That is an argument for federal legislation that puts these laws across the board. It standardizes everything, not a patchwork, a mishmash of things.
The conversation moved to the attempts to restrict high-capacity magazines used in some of the deadliest shootings, including Newtown, Pulse, Las Vegas, and Dayton. What about restricting?
Why are you restricting? If a person had a 10-round magazine and he carried 10 of those, he still have 100 rounds.
But I can tell you that in Dayton, Ohio, if a person had a 10-round magazine and the police officers were able to stop him in less than 30 seconds, 35 people would not be killed or injured.
Las Vegas. I mean, you look at Las Vegas and you look at the cache of weapons that guy had and the ammunition.
Well, he had a clear advantage. He was a high ground. He was in a location that he had planned this out for months. So we can't force it into this space where we want to make it fit, because nobody stood a chance that night at that concert. Not with that guy. And even if the laws existed, he still had broken them, right? Because it was the choice of the individual. It was his actions, right?
Where do you think we are 5 years from now on this topic?
Same place.
You're optimistic.
Not at all. Because, like I said, once it goes back to money, politics, and power. When we're talking about coming to finding some common ground, what works? It has to work for everybody, not just one group of sad people.
You know, if Pulse taught me to be anything, it was to be optimistic. You have an entire population of people who spent their childhoods underneath desks pretending that a mass shooter was outside and figuring out how to survive. I think what you're going to see over the next 5 and 10 years is that generation, that population of people saying enough is enough.
Are either of you willing to accept that this is just going to be the new normal for this country?
No, I can't do that. And I think that before June 12, 2016, I had accepted this world as the status quo the way it was. I had accepted that I'd be the person who turned on the TV and watched coverage of a mass shooting and then flipped to the Food Network 5 minutes later. And now that I've seen 49 people, including 2 of the people that meant the most in the world to me, have their voices ripped from them, from something that I think is solvable, I simply cannot accept this as normal or the status quo.
Well, you know, whether or not we accept it as normal, if the people that have been put in place to do their jobs don't do their jobs, we will find ourselves here for a very long time.
We agree on that.
You do agree on that?
Yeah.
As we head into 2020, what do you want other people to glean from this?
You have to be willing to sit down and have an open mind. Just because you may not share the same ideas or you may not agree with an individual 100% doesn't mean that you can't put it all out on the table and say, look, let's have a real discussion between real people, not what we're being fed and what we're being told to believe. How do we feel as a person?
My hope is that people are willing to break through their ecosystems. They're willing to get off of Twitter, get off of Facebook, and go have a conversation with your neighbor. Have a conversation with the person in the coffee shop. Have a conversation with someone who disagrees with you.
So does either one or do both have a solution that they kind of agreed on together?
You know, no. I mean, no. The short answer is no. They don't have a solution, but they do think, they both agree on this idea that lawmakers should do something. That something has to be done.
But if you're not willing to give an inch, so, you know, she's on the South Side, she's in Chicago, and she's like, look, there's all sorts of shootings going on. I want to be protected. You have people who are hunters who want their guns, right? So if they agree that we don't want the guns in the hands of somebody who, you know, has some mental health issues, then if you agree on that, then how do you get there if you don't take a step? is my question.
Well,
But nobody wants to take a step because you feel like that's giving in.
You're right. Yeah.
So how do you get there if you won't move? Like I don't.
that's one of the questions. But we're going to continue to have the conversation over the next year, and not just on guns. We're going to continue to talk about some other complicated issues. We'll be right back. But that's later this week on the third hour today. Chanel swapping jobs with an all-time great. See what happens when she takes a swing at tennis, and Venus Williams comes in studio with us. But first, it was a groundbreaking experiment that changed mental health care.
A group of colleagues and I gained admission to psychiatric hospitals.
Doctors masquerading as patients. Now, 50 years later, an author inspired by her own medical mystery is retelling a story in a whole new way.
I love eggs, and there's a big difference between ordinary and the best. Which egg tastes more farm fresh and delicious? Only Eggland's Best. Which egg has 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat? Only Eggland's Best.
Which egg is so special, I'd never serve my family anything else. For me, it's only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Drill.
Cordless.
Noted.
That's a good one.
Introducing the Capital One Walmart Rewards Card. Earn unlimited 5% back on everything you buy at Walmart online.
What's in your wallet?
Claire, it's advanced cancer. Now I know this is sudden. Claire.
If you ever face advanced cancer, one test can make a real difference. Learn how the Foundation One test can help your doctor connect you with personalized treatment options. For the intended use and safety information, visit startwithstep1.com.
How to make a delicious bowl of oatmeal. Start with whole grain Quaker oats, then add a spoonful of boldness. Definitely a cup. You deserve this. Your perfect bowl is yours to create. Our oats, your creation. Quaker Oats.
Lash Sensational Mascara from Maybelline, New York. Makes every lash fully sensational. Our banning brush volumizes every kind of lash. More sensational full fan effect. Lash Sensational, only from Maybelline, New York.
What's the time?
A dime is 10 cents.
Severe cold or flu? Take control with TheraFlu. Powerful, soothing relief to defeat your worst cold and flu symptoms fast. TheraFlu, the power is in your hands.
You want a fresh smelling home, but some air fresheners use heavy, overwhelming scents. Try Febreze One, a range of innovative air fresheners with no heavy perfumes that you can feel good about using in your home to deliver a light, natural smelling freshness. Febreze One neutralizes stale, stuffy odors and releases a subtle hint of fragrance like bamboo or lemongrass ginger. To eliminate odors with no heavy perfumes, try Febreze One. Brand power helping you buy better.
So let's see. Real, delicious, tempting. Did we leave anything out? Oh boy, did we. Half the sugar and calories. Simply Light Orange. The best things in life are made simply. Pets. They see everything we do. And they never say a thing.
Well, I feel better.
That's why Progressive covers them in your auto policy at no extra charge.
I only needed a spare.
Keeping you and your secret keepers safe.
Can you heal dry skin in a day? Aveeno with prebiotic triple oat complex balances skin's microbiome, so skin looks like this and you feel like this. Aveeno Skin Relief. Get skin healthy. You can't fake the goodness of real strawberries, the crunch of real almonds, the taste of real raspberries. We use real ingredients because you can't fake delicious. Special K.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. take my eyes off you.
Free one-day delivery, video, music, and more with Prime.
10 years ago, it appeared Susanna Cahalan was having a breakdown until an explanation that saved her life. That experience inspired Susanna to take a closer look at mental health. Take a look. Susanna Cahalan was an eager young journalist when she started to exhibit strange behaviors.
I became obsessed with the idea that I had bed bugs. And, this was 2009 in New York City. Everyone thought they had bed bugs, so it's not that unusual.
Cahalan's symptoms quickly escalated.
I also started experiencing one-sided numbness, and that started in my fingers and toes, and that actually scared me enough to go to the doctor.
Cahalan would eventually spend over a month in the hospital until neurologist Dr. Suhail Nishar diagnosed her with autoimmune encephalitis.
He took my parents outside of my hospital room, and he said to them, her brain is on fire. He said her brain is under attack by her own body.
Cahalan was successfully treated and documented the journey in her best-selling book, Brain on Fire, which was turned into a feature film starring Chloe Grace Moretz.
You gotta get me out of here.
Now Cahalan has shifted her focus to the treatment of mental illness in the U.S. In her new book, The Great Pretender, Cahalan digs into a landmark 1970s study by Stanford's Dr. David Rosenhan.
A group of colleagues and I gained admission to psychiatric hospitals by faking a single symptom.
He sent 8 people undercover into mental institutions, including himself, to secretly test their methods of treatment.
The term we use to describe the experience is dehumanized.
The controversial study dramatically changed patient care, and Cahalan's new discoveries could change everything again. This is fascinating. Susanna is joining us now. Her new book, it's called The Great Pretender, The Undercover Mission That Changed Our Understanding of Madness. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Let's take it a step at a time. So take me back to the 1970s. What was the goal of putting people in some of these mental institutions, and what was the outcome?
So the goal for David Rosenhan and his 7 other pseudo patients was basically to see if psychiatry knew what it was doing.
If it worked.
Exactly. If they could tell the difference between sanity and insanity. And they also wanted to report back about the institutions themselves. Were these harmful places or were these helpful places?
And what was the outcome? Because, it seems like whatever was discovered really changed the course of psychiatry.
Absolutely. The outcome was pretty damning. Basically, they psychiatrists could not tell the difference between sanity and insanity. That was his conclusion. And this confirmed a lot of the fears of the lay public had about, mental institutions seen in one floor of the cuckoo's nest. So this was like a sword plunged into the heart of psychiatry.
So there was a fear that you're essentially kind of locking people up, putting them in a room, not talking to them, and then if anything, they're getting crazier because they're not getting the treatment. But then tell me there's this 9th patient. He wasn't included in this published piece. His name was Harry Lando. So he shared this statement with us. He says, Rosenhan excluded my data, perhaps because my experience was so different. He says, I was never depersonalized, and staff were both accessible and caring toward patients. Is he trying to say then that perhaps this whole experiment was skewed and maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought?
Now, Harry is someone I found during my research, 6 years of research. And when I started to find things didn't quite add up, there was sloppiness, there were inaccuracies. And then I found Harry Lando, who we just read the statement from, and he had a positive experience. He had a very healing time during his hospitalization, 19 days. He was misdiagnosed with schizophrenia like the other pseudo patients, but he actually felt that he was bettered by his experience in the hospital. And this raised a lot of red flags for me and questioned a lot of the kind of conclusions of the study, and we're feeling those after effects today.
So if you discovered all this, it seems crazy to me that students in school are still learning about this study and taking it for what it is. Why was there no fact checking, or was there no backup study to kind of prove that this is something we should be studying?
It's a great question. It's a Psych 101 mainstay. Pretty much everyone who takes an intro to psychology class is going to learn this. And it's in almost every book about the history of psychiatry. I still think there's a lot of validity in it, even though there are problems. He actually identified a lot of true things, but I think we need to really change the way we teach it.
So what is the takeaway? We were just talking about mental health today. It runs the gamut, right? You've got people who have mental health issues in suburbs all over the world, all over the country, right? And then you've got people on, frankly, city trains here in New York City who are talking to themselves, and it can be a little scary, right? So you start talking about mental health. People really want solutions.
Absolutely.
What's your takeaway?
It's such a complicated issue, but for what I learned is that there's a lot of nuance here. There were horrible places that warehoused people. They were not good.
But maybe there's a more nuanced discussion. Maybe there are places that can be helpful and healing as an asylum in that kind of old sense of taking care of people. And I hope that unveiling this study and revealing the kind of limitations allows us to look back and really assess the past in order to move forward and really progress.
Well, we're happy you're okay as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susanna Cahalan. And for more on this book, The Great Pretenders, head to thirdhourtoday.com.
Coming up next, Parks and Rec alum Jenny Slate is here. We're going to talk to her. I'll be right back.
Promise that you'll never find another like me. Baby, that's the part of me.
With the Capital One Favor Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
I'm craving
Wings. Only Frigidaire's range lets you air fry right in your oven. It's all the flavor, none of the guilt.
so good.
That's using your Frigidaire.
We were lost in a vast desert, completely devoid of basset hounds. Then it appeared, a beacon of hope,
I'm back in baby's arms.
more glorious than a billion sunsets.
Loving arms.
We were found,
I'm back where I
found by the hounds.
back in baby's arms.
Find something incredible from somewhere amazing. Unique selection, unbelievable prices. Home Goods, go find it.
The happy heart is a healthy heart. So find a fun way to make it stop. Do whatever makes your heart grin. Take a spin, we'll go and do it over again. Honey, that Cheerio that goes round and around.
I'm truly amazed at the effect that it has on people.
Thank you,
Sleep this amazing? That's Ezequiel Pure Z Sleep. Our liquid has a unique botanical blend, while an optimal melatonin level means no next-day grogginess. Ezequiel Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep.
All Tyson Anytizers chicken is raised with no antibiotics ever. They're a great decision for snack time. Allowing the band to practice at your house? Not a great decision. Keep it real. Keep it Tyson Anytizers.
Start the holiday season at Ulta Beauty and get ready to give, gather, and glow.
So Josh, you going for a Drive Safe and Safe discount?
Yep. Using the app Drive and Safe. You wanna go? You wanna go, bro? Hey, do not mess with my discount. You can save up to 30%. Let's go! Nice to meet you. Go get him, Tiger.
Sounds like you've got this.
Yeah, definitely.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe and Save from State Farm.
And welcome back. We love Jenny Slate, Parks and Rec, and The Secret Life of Pets, one of my kids' favorites, by the way.
And now she's out with her first stand-up special on Netflix and a brand new book called Little Weirds. Jenny, good morning.
Morning.
And in the 6 Degrees of Separation, you were in the movie Brain on Fire, we just talked about in this last segment.
Yes, I was, which is so bizarre. Blew me away. Didn't plan that.
So crazy. But it's just the luck of the draw. So Little Weirds, how would you describe this book? Because it's kind of hard to put into any category.
It is. It's 48 very small pieces. You can open the book to any page, although I would suggest reading it, from start to finish because I planned it that way. But they're just little pieces. They're not really essays. They're not really fiction or nonfiction. They're just kind of a representation of my feelings as they happen. So
I love this idea because so often,
a little weird, right?
So often, like just different things happen in life. I mean, even if you're just going for a walk and you just have these thoughts that you don't really go back and tell anybody or share with anybody. And this is kind of a collection of those thoughts.
That's exactly it. It's pretty immediate, but it's also really, I guess, interior or intimate, and it's nice to represent that. Yeah.
If you were to give it a theme, a lot of people have said it's rediscovering, self-love or what have you. How would you describe it?
I would describe it as a woman finding a way to make all of her disparate parts come together, self-love. It's a book about self-love.
You got a Netflix special out.
I know.
It's called Stage Fright.
It is.
And I assume that's because you suffer. Jenny Slate suffers from stage fright.
I have it. I don't know if I'm suffering anymore, but I do have stage fright, and it doesn't go away.
How do you deal with it?
Well, I went to a hypnotist to try to sort of blast it out. I'm not quite sure that worked, but mostly I just say okay, it's here, it's not going to get me, but it's not going to go away.
Well, talking about fright, you have this fascination with ghosts. You said your parents' house was haunted?
Yes.
Growing up,
have you ever seen one?
Here's the thing, I'm the only one in my family that has not seen a ghost. And I think that I do believe in them, but I think I haven't seen one because the ghosts know that I'm too sensitive.
What?
They're nice ghosts. Yeah, that they're kind of let's not do that to her because,
just be your strong.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to break her down.
Congrats, by the way, are in order, I hear. You're engaged.
Oh, I am. I am.
You sound surprised.
I am. I'm engaged. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. Oh, wow. Yeah, there we are. Picture.
Oh,
there it is.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, Jenny, thank you so much. I love having you here. And for more information on Jenny's book, Little Weirds, head to today.com.
Little Weird.
Little Weird.
Yeah.
We'll be right back in a little bit.
Good evening, everyone. Reporting from here on the ground. Santa Ana winds are very strong. Fire has grown leaps and bounds into Broca.
Do you feel like you're giving a green light to politicians?
No.
Lie.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Now is the time to review your Medicare coverage. It's also a great time to talk to United Healthcare and take advantage of a wide choice of plans with a variety of benefits, including the new AARP Medicare Advantage Walgreens plan from United Healthcare. It can combine your hospital and doctor coverage with Part D prescription drug coverage and more, all in one simple plan. These Medicare Advantage plans offer you visits to your primary care doctor for a low, or in most areas, no copay at all. There's more. Take advantage of benefits that go beyond original Medicare. Most plans offer preventive dental care for a $0 copay. And with some plans, you'll get credits for comprehensive dental services. You'll also get a vision exam for a $0 copay, often with credits to buy glasses or contacts. Plus, pay $0 on your Tier 1 prescription drugs at over 9,500 Walgreens locations nationwide. Medicare annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th. So give United Healthcare a call to learn more about your choice of plans and benefits and how you could get more for your Medicare dollar. For a $0 monthly premium, you'll get prescription drug coverage at Walgreens and other pharmacies, a hearing exam for a $0 copay. And most plans include the Renew Active Fitness program with a free gym membership and rewards for staying active. So ask about our PPO plans that let you see any doctor who accepts Medicare without a referral and pay in-network costs at home or traveling when you see doctors in the United Healthcare Medicare National Network. Medicare annual enrollment ends soon. So call now to learn more and take advantage of all the great benefits of the new AARP Medicare Advantage Walgreens plan from United Healthcare.
Tomorrow we've got a performance by PJ Morton and JoJo in the Artist Lounge.
Up next, Andy Cohen is back in with Hoda.
Got an interview with Tim McGraw.
Good stuff. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go play with that cute kid over there.
You guys did radio today, right?
Oh, yeah.
More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
Tonight, Taylor's final show.
Really warm up your lower register.
The final steal. And one big discovery.
We may be the same.
Yeah.
We got to do a DNA test.
The Voice, new tonight on NBC. Don't miss the final season of The Good Place.
What the?
Thursday.
Save big money with your next project at Menards. Keep your cargo safe and secure with smart straps. These tie-downs have carabiner hooks that allow for quick and easy use. Get a 2-pack for $12.99 or get a 4-pack for $21.99. As the temperatures get cooler, pick up some House Diesel Conditioner. Diesel Conditioner prevents fuel from gelling while increasing fuel economy during colder months. Get it for $8.99. Save on your automotive needs now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. When you're ordering groceries, you want the freshest, most delicious choices around. Whether it's for a quick and easy weekday meal or a sensational Sunday celebration, we get you. And we've got that. And now you can get home delivery in as fast as 1 hour or enjoy same-day pickup at the store. Either way, we think you're really going to like how easy it is. See you online.
It's a good day to be alive.
Every morning, 2 News Today is working for you. Keep your morning moving with 2 News Time Saver Traffic, brought to you by your Miami Valley Honda dealers. Watch 5 on 2. We're working for you. Weekdays beginning at 5 p.m.
All right, we've got a great show planned for you guys. Tim McGraw, he opens up about his 40-pound weight loss and what his wife and kids said that made him kind of change his life.
And his glutes. Plus, hot off the Hamilton stage, Tony and Grammy Award winner Leslie Odom Jr. performs. Love him.
And this year's hottest toys, including a first look at a toy nobody's seen, what this Barbie can do when you put it in water, I think.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
From NBC News, this is Today with Hoda Kotb and Jenna Bush Hager, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
I watched it said again.
It's here. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Little Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
Country music.
I love a little country music. Yeah, I do. Who you? I told you I watched that Ken Burns documentary. It's incredible. You gotta see this.
Yeah.
You will love it.
Yeah.
You will love it. Okay. You know, I love some of the first ladies of country. I love Reba. I love Ms. Loretta Lynn.
Yes.
I love Dolly, obviously. I love Ms. Tammy Wynette. You know, I mean, I like saying their names, you know?
I love that you love it.
Yes, I do love it.
All right, so my mom was wandering around in D.C. yesterday, like she does, going to the eye doctor. She lives in Old Town. And she ran right up to Chuck Todd. By the way, my mom...
Chuck Todd looks like he's on the tip of our eye.
Yeah, he looks good, right? Well, my mom went up to him, like she does whenever she sees someone. Hello, Chuck. I'm Sammy. How does smile? I'm like, oh my God. So she will go up to anybody at any moment. Yeah, and she's not shy. She was like, I was getting my hair done, and you know who sat next to me? Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Where does your mom? Boy, she's connected.
Wherever she goes, there's somebody.
Really?
She was walking. She saw Andrea Mitchell. Like, I have pictures of my mom. She's like,
with everyone.
Rolled up. Yeah,
that's funny. I love you two have the same smile, which I love.
You know, I was just remembering your mom and your dad when you were here last.
Yes, guys, that was fun.
We dug them. All right.
Absolutely. So Angelina Jolie is on the cover of the new Harper's Bazaar magazine, which, I mean, Harper's Bazaar looks like a great cover. It ain't Fly Washington magazine, which Hodes and Savannah are on still.
Why are we?
The issue is still on stands. It is the winter issue. I just want to say I really razzed this magazine yesterday. Low-hanging fruit, but I did read the piece, and it's a great piece. So everyone catch the new Fly Washington. The Angelina Jolie will be on the cover of the next issue.
Okay, so she is on the cover of Harper's Bazaar.
And what does she say again?
She's revealing some stuff about herself. She said this.
Do you find her relatable?
You know what? Not really.
I was going to say, your non-answer is answering me. Okay, but this is relatable what she said.
Yes,
okay.
Certainly
And what was it, Hoda?
Basically, she's kind of like a wild child, and she says, this is her quote, the part of us that is free, wild, open, and curious can get shut down by life, by pain or harm. My children know my true self, and they've helped me find it again and embrace it. I think it's true. It's like...
That's true. I mean, well, that's the joy of kids, right?
Yes.
They open you up, and they bring you back to what you could be walking. I mean, this actually, I overslept this morning, and I was running around like a freak in my apartment. And then I see Ben, and I was like, okay. And he's just like, and I'm like, okay, everything's cool. This is all going to be fine.
They are like the greatest equalizer. And I think when I picture Angelina Jolie back in the day, remember all the stories about the vial of blood and the whole situation and all that stuff, and to have kids and to just to watch her transformation.
Yes.
What do you see? Is there something on me?
What does this say? Love. Oh my God. You love any kind of a, like, I mean, obviously we know the quote book, but if y'all have a piece of jewelry with like something inspirational or a saying or a word or hope or joy, I mean, I know these are the kids, but like Hoda will slap it on herself. I mean, she will. She is an affirmation machine. Anyway. I love it. I'm here for it.
By the way, there's a nice lady who gave me these.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 18. What is this?
This one says, right on time.
Oh. I mean, it's starting to look like some Hazarai. Do you know what Hazarai is?
What is it?
It's Yiddish for like
a bunch of
junk. Yes. This Hazarai. You're the anchor of like 8 hours of the Today Show, and you wear all this Hazarai. Let's. Do you really need each of these?
Ray, yes. This is Team Ray. This is Team Zoe. This is.
What's the end game?
I don't know. And sometimes I give them away. It's a game. It's fun. Okay.
Matthew McConaughey joined Instagram. Are you excited on his 50th birthday?
I've been waiting for him to get on Insta.
No, you haven't. Really? I don't see that something that you've been waiting for. But let's see. He shared a video yesterday, and I have not seen it actually. Let's see it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to sharing who I am with you. I'm looking forward to seeing if who I am translates, if what I want to share translates. If it tickles your funny bone, if it makes you think a second, makes your heart swell up a little bit, if it makes you take a quiet moment for a walk and go, I got to check in with him and the E. Hopefully all those things. Let's have some fun with it, though. And let's keep the high eye, not the low eye. High eye.
All right. That was good.
Will you follow him, Matthew McConaughey?
If he shows some skin, I'll give him a follow. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Are you going to follow?
Yeah, I will. Well, because he's just going to share his views. You know what? I always think that's a little risky, though, to really
go in.
Go in.
Yeah.
Because when it's one thing to share part of what you do professionally, but to share your views on things,
I love Matthew McConaughey.
Kind of risky. Yeah.
It's very handsome.
Yeah, he's hot. All right. So, Baby Spice.
Emma Bunton
made a big boo-boo. She talks about how when she was dating this guy, she took like a sexy picture of herself.
Okay.
And she ended up texting it to her mother instead of to her boyfriend. She had a bra on and all that stuff. Her mom laughed about it. But do you ever like send something and look?
Accident.
Have you done it?
I have a couple times. I sent kind of a suggestive text to my sister once by mistake, and I got out of it real quick. And I told the story like a year later, and she was like, I don't remember that. I'm like, good. And then I sent an errant emoji to someone that I meant to send to someone else that backfired real bad.
What was the emoji?
It was like an eye roll, but it was meant for. It was bad.
It was not good.
Yeah. Have you ever sent meaning to send like?
Well, one thing I did accidentally do that I can't forget was I was my very first book, and I was on a book tour, and the whole process was a big mess.
Okay.
The book tour, no one was showing up. There weren't books in places. Yeah. And I remember, so I was sending an email. I thought it was to my assistant, Kathy.
Okay.
And I hit reply, and I said, these guys don't know what they're doing. Like, we need their help, blah, 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 blah. And I hit send, and I hit reply all. It went to the head of the book.
Well, you know what? I bet it impacted change.
It did. And they were like, received, they wrote back. And instead, I didn't know what to do. So I wrote back, great, GRT. Like, I meant to.
Yeah,
I was like, but I felt horrible. I still think about it. Like, I'm getting a little sweaty.
I know. You got popped up there.
because it made me feel so terrible.
Oh my gosh. So Tim McGraw's
Yeah.
on the show
Yes,
today.
yes.
And he's talking about he really transformed himself.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
He was kind of going down this wrong path, and he was drinking and partying and eating bad. Everything was wrong.
Yeah.
And his wife basically said to him, Faith Hill said to him, "You have to decide. It's either the partying or us."
Wow.
And he and his daughter went to a movie during this period, and this is his daughter Gracie, and he said he looked up at the screen. It was like a preview for his movie Four Christmases. Look at him. His daughter looked at it and said, "Oh my God, Dad!
Wow.
Can you believe that?"
No, I actually can't.
Right. So his daughter said, "Wow, Dad, you look not great." She looked big on the screen, and he said that was it. He said after that
He transformed.
he transformed. Yeah.
How many years ago was that?
That was about 10 years ago. And now look at him. Just look at his
Yeah,
rippedness.
he is. I'm looking.
But he says he does everything to like the nth degree, no matter what he does.
Talks a lot about squats in the book.
Yes, he does a lot.
I mean, he really.
But do you ever think, like, when someone criticizes you, and his daughter was just making an observation,
Right.
has anyone ever said anything to you that made you like change your behavior?
I think, I'm a pretty tough critic of myself. And don't you find that seeing yourself in a monitor every day,
Yeah.
doesn't that mess with your head sometimes? Because it's like you're forced to look in the mirror a lot.
Yeah,
Because there's a monitor under
yeah,
these cameras
yeah.
that we're looking at. So this summer, I had a moment where I was like, I really felt like my suits were getting tight, and it was
Yeah.
beach season,
Yeah.
and I was wearing like button downs to the beach. And I'm like, I'm not this guy.
No.
I'm not doing this. Anyway, I've not had a drink on Watch What Happens Live since mid-July. As a result, I lost 12 pounds. And I've just been really watching what I'm eating. And but that was me saying, I gotta.
You felt it.
Yes, exactly.
I can't believe you haven't had a drink on the show.
I know. I'm going to expel the details to Fly Washington in the spring edition.
Coming up, we're going to have more from Tim McGraw in just a little bit.
Plus, can you guess the ginger? I love this. We're going to celebrate National Love Your Red Hair Day, which is every day in my calendar, with a fun ginger head game right after this.
Guys, let's go.
JCPenney. Remember the little things. JCPenney. Remember the little things.
Here's another cleaning tip from Mr. Clean. Cleaning tough bathroom and kitchen messes with sprays and wipes can be a struggle. There's an easier way. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Just wet, squeeze, and erase tough messes like bathtub soap scum and caked on grease from oven doors. Now Mr. Clean Magic Eraser comes in disposable sheets. They're perfect for icky messes on stovetops, in microwaves, and all over the house. For an amazing clean, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Mr. Clean Magic Eraser sheets.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and I wish I could tell you how I feel about a morning like this. And that includes a good hearty breakfast. You need something to kind of warm my whole body up and get it going. It's a great way to kick off your day.
Still looking for a dry skin solution? Try Eucerin Advanced Repair Lotion. It helps stop dryness from recurring by going beyond ceramides with natural moisturizing factors found in skin. Eucerin Advanced Repair Lotion for healthier looking skin.
Oh, there's nothing I can't do as long as I've got you.
The things that matter most happen one morning and one cup at a time. When was your last professional cleaning? 6 months? A year? Maybe it's time to get back to clean. Call or go online for our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Send the steamer, get your home cleaner.
What's for dinner?
The easiest because it's the cheesiest. Kraft for the win-win.
Saturdays happen. Pain happens. Aleve it. Aleve is proven better on pain than Tylenol. When pain happens, Aleve It. All day strong.
Here we go again. We'll give a little bit. We'll give a little bit of your love to
Skin Stand number 17. Too many after parties. New Neutrogena Bright Boost with dullness-fighting neoglucosamine. Boost cell turnover by 10 times for instantly brighter skin. Bright Boost, Neutrogena.
Wait a minute. A heart and my Honey Nut Cheerios? I like that. And they can help lower cholesterol? Well, now I'm in love.
Take a moment to unwrap and unwind with Lindor. A milk chocolate shell with a smooth melting center, crafted by the Lindt master chocolatiers. Whenever, wherever. Lindor, only from Lindt. We're here so the victim can be heard.
All new SVU Thursday.
It's Andy Cohen Week. We're so happy to be back with Andy. Jenna's going to come back from maternity leave in 4 days. So we are continuing our excited to be reunited countdown. So to celebrate Jenna's return, we're looking back at each day. What's this one, Andy?
Today's features U2. Yeah. Today features U2 trying to set a Guinness World Record for the tallest freestanding whipped cream tower.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super fun. I can't believe you didn't get it on your sleeves. Boy, U2.
There's a way to do that, which we didn't know.
Right.
All right. So we want to know. I think nobody, because it was like a Guinness record. And they were
right. Oh, yeah. You didn't
terrible.
set it.
They're like,
That's pathetic.
Yeah. All right. If you guys have somebody in your life who you
I love it. The guy's measuring it. He's humoring you. Let's see. Did you win the Guinness record? It's like a little mouse.
But if there's someone in your life you haven't seen in some time, we want to hear about it. Go to our HodaandJenna.com page, hit the connect button, and tell us all about it, because maybe something good will happen.
Okay, today and every day is National Love Your Red Hair Day. I famously love a ginge. I cannot believe y'all put red hair on my head.
Well, let's look.
This is nuts. We're going to play a game called the Ginger Head Man.
All right, so we put someone famous's hair on your head, and we're going to see if we can guess which famous dude you're rocking.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Who's first? Prince
Prince
Harry.
Harry, yes.
Oh my God, look at you.
Oh my God,
Wait.
horrible. I look terrible.
Oh, wait, slow down here.
Is that Jessica Chastain? No.
No.
Is it Shiv from Succession? No. Right. Oh, Connie Britton, the most iconic redhead ever.
By the way, she
I
loves
love
you.
her. I love her. I love her hair more than anything.
Oh,
Who's
my
next? I
goodness.
love Connie Britton. And
Ed Sheeran, yes.
Oh
Wait,
my
let's
God,
see
I look
next.
terrible as
Wait,
redhead.
well,
That's Prince Harry.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
That.
Okay, let's continue.
Prince Harry. Oh, Lucy! Oh my God, this is terrifying. This is horrible. Oh,
the girl,
the Wendy's girl. Oh my God, the Pippi, what? Pippi Longstocking? I don't know. Oh, Conan! Oh my God, all of these gorgeous redheads, and I look terrible, and my collar doesn't match my cuffs, clearly. That is Patty LuPone as a redhead? Who am I looking at? Ginger? Is it Anne Romano? Who is it? No. Who is it?
Oh, Miranda?
Miranda what? Miranda! Cynthia Nixon, almost governor of New York. Boy, do I look bad as a redhead. And my teeth get progressively worse at each. Is this, I mean, I go to a different dentist now. Anderson gave me a real talking to about my teeth.
What, was that Carrot Top?
Yeah.
Oh,
my
What is,
Oh, okay.
what did
All right, I
Anderson
love
say about your
Carrot Top.
teeth?
He was like, you need to fix them up, sweetie. He sent me to his dentist.
Wait, tell,
I
what do
think
you
it
have
was
to
a
do?
free Anderson's dentist.
What do
Yeah.
you mean, like a lightener?
Just everything.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh, that was
Oh my God.
Oh,
What a
I
fun
love that. That was
game.
awesome. Coming up, how Tim McGraw lost 40 pounds and completely transformed his life.
And get a head start on holiday shopping. A first look at this season's top toys right after this. I'm excited for this.
You got to
No, yeah.
Oh, here, look. Here it is.
Yes.
And it's on rollback.
So cool.
It's a great price.
Good. Juno. Soundbar.
So she can watch her cartoons in surround sound.
And football.
And football.
Yes. She loves football.
Oh, I know. I use the color that protects the colors. Excellence hair color from L'Oreal with Pro Keratin Complex. Rich, radiant color. No color protects or covers grays better. So much care in one little box. Excellence Creme from L'Oreal. Available at Walmart. There it is. The coffee ring. It's been sitting there all week. And just like that, it's shining. Look at you. Beautify it with Pledge. SC Johnson.
Wishes is more than baked beans. It's also
Beans and beans.
what he means is make your chili even better with Bush's white chili beans, kidney chili beans, or slow simmered pinto chili beans. Beans, and here we go again.
Their Béarnaise sauce here is the best in town. What do you do for fun?
Not this.
Oh, what am I into? Mostly Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Helps people find coverage options based on their budget. Flo has it, I want it, it's a whole thing. And she's right there.
Yeah, she's my ride. This date's lame. He has pics of you on his phone.
They're very tasteful.
Spread a little love today. Spread a little love my highway. Spread a little something too.
Philadelphia cream cheese, made with fresh milk and real cream, makes your recipes their holiday favorites. The holidays are made with Philly. Everything was so fresh in the beginning, but that plug quickly faded. Luckily, there's Febreze Plug. It cleans away odors and freshens for 1,200 hours. Breathe happy with Febreze Plug.
Making the most of family time means taking over the kitchen on the weekend. And while my breakfast might be different than mom's, that's part of the fun. Make the most of family time with Pillsbury Grand's biscuits.
We undeniable.
I'm Leah, and that's me. Long before I had moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, I've always been the ringleader, had a zest for life. Flash forward, then RA kept me from the important things. And what my doctor said surprised me. She said my joint pain could mean permanent joint damage, and Enbrel helps relieve joint pain and helps stop that joint damage. Ask about Enbrel so you can get back to being your true self.
Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu.
Visit Enbrel.com to see how your joint damage could progress.
Enbrel, FDA approved for over 20 years.
Find something incredible from somewhere amazing. Unique selection, unbelievable prices. Home Goods. Go find him.
Tim McGraw is a three-time Grammy-winning superstar of country music, and if you've seen him on stage over the past decade, you may have noticed some changes over the years.
For real.
Now, this father of three is opening up about his physical and mental transformations and his inspiring journeys in his book, and it's called Grit and Grace. Take a look.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Good.
This is cool. Like, I was waiting for Tim McGraw to have a book out about this, in this lane. This seems like this is your lane. Why did you decide to put this out now?
Gosh, doing interviews, typically you have 5 or 10 minutes to talk, and a lot of people ask about my workouts and what kind of workouts do I do. And they'll ask me that, but it's also along with, all right, when's your new album coming out? What kind of touring are you doing? How's Faith doing? How are kids doing? So you don't really have enough time to really talk about it. It's worked out and it's physical, but there's a lot of gains that I've gotten mentally from it, just stress relieving and all those kinds of things. So it gave me an opportunity in a long form to sort of maybe tell my story a little bit, but give some people a little bit of inspiration about how to start it. And it's written really for no matter what level you're at. It's not about doing things the way I do them. It's just sort of just something to help you get started.
Sometimes it takes our family members to grab us by the shirt collar and say, something's off. And you were doing what a lot of music stars do. You were partying, you were out, you were, doing all those things. And your family wasn't having it. There was a point where Faith said, enough is enough.
It's time to grow up a little bit, kid.
Yeah.
But she still tells me on my good days that I finally hit 16. That's on the good days. But when your wife tells you, come on, get your act together, you pay attention. And
how bad was it? Like, what did you have to get together?
Well, look, it was a little bit of just, resetting your life a bit. It wasn't like this complete teetotal. It was just reset, hit the reset button and try to get things back on track. And I go off track all the time, like I said, but I found myself in a better position to come back on things.
Well, you turned it around. I was looking at that before and after picture and I kept thinking, how could a before picture of Tim be anything but also perfect? But you actually do see a dramatic difference. How much weight did you lose and over how much time?
Well, gosh, it wasn't instant for sure. It took a time of a little over 40 pounds. Yeah. But it really, of course, I started that because of vanity and fear of myself and all those things, and sort of come to Jesus from my wife and kids. But it really became more than that. It's more about just getting control of your life a little bit better and sort of trying to find some moderation in your life and ways to move forward in a way that should be more present for your kids and more present for your friends and certainly more present for yourself. You can be accountable to a lot of people. There's always accountability. Certainly I'm accountable to my wife. I'm accountable to my family. You have to look in the mirror. And if you don't hold yourself accountable, it's something that that can run much further.
Well, you have a lot to be proud of. This book is something to be proud of. Your girls are something to be proud of. I just have to brag on you just for a minute because I know there's talent in you and Faith Hill because no kidding. And all your kids I know have some musical talent. They all can sing. Yeah. They all can. We got to see a little bit of Gracie's when y'all were taking a cross country road trip. But I just want to play a little just because I love it so. She's so pretty. She's beautiful. She sings like an angel. Is it lost on you when you look over across and you see your 20-something-year-old daughter?
It puts me in awe every time. And I think we're so proud of our daughters because the world that they grew up in can easily, make the kids turn out differently. And our girls are so grounded. They're so humble. They have such big hearts. And they work hard at the things that they want to accomplish. And we're really proud of them. We couldn't ask for better kids. They're smarter than us in so many ways.
Well, we're proud of you. Your song, by the way, Humble and Kind, this is maybe TMI, but whenever I change Haley's diapers, we change that. We play that song, and she sings it. So it's our diaper Cajun song. Hopefully some of it will soak in. Tim, thank you so much. You can catch Grit and Grace at today.com/shop. All right, then.
Your teeth look so white.
Sparkly.
I'm obsessed with it now.
Coming up from Broadway to Studio 1A, Leslie Odom Jr. performs a brand new song just for us.
Plus, what toys are about to fly off the shelves this holiday season? We've got the list right after this.
At Walgreens, we love smart savers, like yard sale savers, daytime savers, and especially Med D savers. Select a Medicare Part D plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy and get copays for as low as $0 and 100 rewards points on prescriptions. Isn't saving great? Save smartly on Med D. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
There it is, the coffee ring. It's been sitting there all week. And just like that, it's shining. Look at you, beautify it with Pledge. SC Johnson.
Sleep this amazing? That's Ezequiel Pure Z Sleep. Our liquid has a unique botanical blend, while an optimal melatonin level means no next-day grogginess. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Chicago Fire. All new Wednesday.
This winter, you have the power to heal. Because your purchase of Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion supports the Vaseline Healing Project. Join us to help millions in crisis heal their skin.
If you live in Dayton and are eligible for Medicare, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield can help you get coverage that fits your life and budget. Our Medicare Advantage plans cover many of the costs original Medicare doesn't, so you can focus on what matters most. Anthem plans help protect you from high medical costs, and there's an allowance for health items at Walmart. Plus, get dental, vision, prescription drug coverage, and access to over 15,000 fitness locations nationwide. You can also choose an Essential Extras benefit to help you live a healthier life. If you live in one of these counties, you can get a plan with $0 monthly premiums. The Medicare enrollment deadline is December 7th. Enroll in an Anthem plan at a great rate now, so you can spend more time living and less time worrying. That's the benefit of Blue. Call Anthem today at 1-844-494-0034 for your free quote or to schedule an in-person meeting.
Dad and I spent countless nights working on his old car. When I lost him, I was worried I'd have to sell the car to cover the cost of his funeral. But Newcomer provided an amazing service that was far less than I could have imagined. So I was able to keep the car, and my dad was truly honored.
Every family deserves a perfect, beautiful funeral at a price that is fair and affordable. It is our privilege to help you celebrate your loved one's legacy. With funerals at only $27.95, spend less, leave more.
2 News, brought to you by Goodwill Auto Auction.
Wednesday, say farewell to the Queen. I love her so much. The television event, Dogs Most Wanted, season finale, Wednesday at 9 on WGN America.
Okay. All right. You know that gut-wrenching feeling when you find out your kid's holiday wish list is sold out?
Well, lucky for me, we're living agita-free this year. We sent our own Donna, along with some tiny toy testers, to get a sneak peek at this year's hottest toys. Check it out.
We're at the 2019 Sweet Sweet, which gives us a sneak preview to this holiday season's hottest toy. And here to guide us is Toy Insider, Lori Shack, and some adorable Today toy testers to give their review. Are you guys ready to test some toys?
So this is our dragonfly called Dolce, and I love it because it has texture everywhere. You can hang it on the stroller or the crib. And it has sort of these waterful bees. So these are actually out now. There's a whole line, anywhere from $9.99 to about $29.99, and for newborns up to 12, 18 months.
This is as close to Meghan Markle as I'll ever get.
Leapfrog is huge, and this is Leap Builders, made for the littlest hands, 18 months and up. We have Smart Bricks. When you put it into the station, kids are going to learn about their letters, numbers, household products. So this one's about $39.99. I want to introduce you to Boppy. This is the booty shaking llama. They are out in stores now, and they're about $19.99. These are called Pop Pops. We have Pop Pops nuts and Pop Pop pets. That's magic. Awesome.
So therapeutic.
Oh, suck up our slime. Shoot it out. Pop Pops are $4.99 to $7.99. It's the hammer. The Pop Pops are available now. We love slime. So this is Slime Pig Game. Simply collect as many pigs as possible. It's going to be about $19.99. Sprinkle Art Shaker. We do simply
is we put the sprinkles in here.
And then it just
And now we
forms on the
shake
glue.
and shake. It forms on the glue. When mess-free, so much fun. And when the kids are done, they have these beautiful creations that they make.
Blinger is going to be your favorite thing this holiday season. You get a blinger and you get 5 discs filled with gorgeous gems.
Cute.
Very pretty. I love it. It's really cute.
You know, he is actually a baby elephant, the cutest thing. He's an interactive elephant. He has touch points all over. He'll respond to what you do. He'll be $99.99. He's gonna eat it. Oh.
This is the invisibility cloak.
I always wanted to try one of these.
Watch what you'll be able to do.
Come back, Donna.
You know, there's some days I really need this in my life. You know, I never got a toy car as a kid, so I'm really thrilled about this.
Maya is on the Fisher-Price Bounce and Spin puppy. Look how cute it is. She can bounce, she can spin 360 degrees. We have lights, we have sounds, we have some learning. It'll be about $59.99.
It looks fun, but I can't stop looking at her.
This is the Pull and Play Wagon. So for little ones like Noah, who's 6 months old, lots of things to do while they're sitting, lots of activity. As children get older, they can pull it, and it will age up. There's different levels. It'll be about $39.99.
All right, Toy Insider Mom. Lori Shack is here with a few of the most coveted toys, including one that's never actually been seen publicly before. We're going to reveal it.
We're going to get that one last. So first, we're going to start with Bloom. This is our secret surprise garden. Kids saw it in a little way this spring, but now go ahead. You know exactly what to
do. I do?
Pour the water right on top. And what we're going to see is the secret reveal.
What happens, guys?
Right out of here.
Happen.
It will. Come on, out you come. All right. Well, it blooms up. It opens up. We have this giant place, and the kids are playing with it. And you have 30 surprises inside. Sometimes it just takes a minute.
What to say about that?
All right, matey, come on. We're going to talk about Ryan. This is Captain Ryan's mystery treasure chest. Mega mystery treasure. Look, and again, it's all about the reveal. Inside, you have all of these reveals. So you open up all the surprises on this layer. You just peel it. Surprise. Everything. You're going to get figures. Plus, you're going to find a key that will unlock surprises in here. Then this whole thing comes out, and there's even more surprises on the bottom. Vehicles, little Ryan figures, all kinds of fun stuff. And of course, it's a treasure chest. We have gold coins.
This is the toy that nobody knows about.
Nobody has seen this yet. So
Okay,
we know Barbie, but this is Barbie color reveal. Not even out in stores yet.
Put this in the water.
Put it in the water.
My God.
Dunk it.
For real?
Dunk
My
it all
God.
the way in.
Okay, dunk it in.
Now we're going to.
Oh my God, what is happening to Barbie?
So now.
Oh my God, this is nuts.
Are you ready? She's either going to be a unicorn, a llama, a panda, a nugget.
Okay. Oh my God.
So everything comes. All right. Come here. So this is the one that our second reveal. We use the cold water and we can reveal her eye color, her lip color. Oh God. Here we
When it comes to sex, Tom Pop is more different. So when she tried King Senflash detergent, she loved it. Her son loves it. And her husband loves it too. And the delivery woman? Awkward. Gain Scent Blast. It's our most intense scent. and matching fabric softener and scent beads too.
Forget injections and look up to 5 years younger in 12 weeks with Number 7 Laboratories Line Correcting Booster Serum. It works so well, 76% of women said injections can wait. Line Correcting Booster Serum from Number 7, exclusively at these retailers.
Fine. No one leave the table till you're finished.
Fine, we'll sleep here.
It's the easiest because it's the cheesiest. Kraft for the win-win.
Oh, heavenly hand cream.
Heavenly hand cream? My hands get so dry and cracked, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keefe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief of dry, cracked hands. Thanks to O'Keefe's, I got my hands back.
You wouldn't do only half of your daily routine, so why treat your mouth any differently? Listerine completes the job by preventing plaque, early gum disease, and killing up to 99.9% of germs. Try Listerine. Need stocking stuffers? Try Listerine Ready Tabs.
Nature's Recipe knows a dog's big life is measured in wags. So we carefully choose every ingredient, like chicken, sweet potato, and pumpkin to fuel their best life. Also, try Nature's Recipe True Treats and Prime Blends.
There it is, the coffee ring. It's been sitting there all week. And just like that, it's shining. Look at you, beautifying with Pledge. S.D. Johnson.
Still looking for a dry skin solution? Try Eucerin Advanced Repair Lotion. It helps stop dryness from recurring by going beyond ceramides with natural moisturizing factors found in skin. Eucerin Advanced Repair Lotion for healthier looking skin.
Making the most of family time means taking over the kitchen on the weekend. And while my breakfast might be different than mom's, that's part of the fun. Make the most of family time with Pillsbury Grand's biscuits.
Fit Me Foundation from Maybelline, New York. Fit skin tone and texture. Blurs pores, stop shine. 97% of women found their fit. Fit Me Matte and Poreless, only from Maybelline, New York.
With Chili's to go, baby, go, baby, go. You get $10, baby, bucks, and take it to go, baby, go. While you sit on your butt. Baby butt, 3 for $10, baby bucks. Together with Chili's, oh yeah, baby, yeah.
Guys, let's go.
JCPenney, remember the little things. JCPenney, remember the little things.
For over 2 decades, author Mitch Albom has been telling stories that touch our souls. His first book, Tuesdays with Morrie, took us inside his professor's battle with ALS, went on to become the best-selling memoir of all time.
Wow. Well, since then, Mitch has written 6 additional New York Times bestsellers. His newest book, maybe my favorite, it's about a little girl from halfway across the world named Chica, and the story is unlike anything he's ever told before. Known for her boundless optimism and lively sense of humor, Chica captured the hearts of all who met her. Born in 2010, just 3 days before a devastating earthquake hit Haiti, Chica spent the first years of her life in a disaster zone. When Chica's mother passed away, the toddler was brought to the Have Faith Haiti orphanage, run by author Mitch Albom and his wife Janine. But at the age of 5, Chica was diagnosed with a brain tumor and given 5 months to live.
2 pills at a time.
Mitch and Janine brought Chica to America for medical care.
What are we doing?
The hospital.
With no children of their own, Chica quickly became an irreplaceable part of their family.
So that's a grown-up toothpaste.
I don't care.
We did the...
Puzzle. We did the puzzle. We did the puzzle.
From singing and dancing
Higher.
to building snowmen and sledding.
Can I do it again?
Chica filled their home with her unmatchable joy. But her condition was taking a toll, and in April of 2017, just months after her 7th birthday, Chica passed away. Her memory lives on in Mitch's book, Finding Chica, where he shares her inspiring yet heartbreaking story. Mitch writes about Chica becoming so weak that she needed to be carried, a passage that I found particularly moving. There was a line in it that said, we're defined by what we carry. Wow. Wow. We're defined by what we carry. Chica's impact serving as an everlasting reminder of what we can learn about life and love from a child. Mitch Albom joins us now with more on this. Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
I read the story. The pages were literally wet in the book after reading it. It's one of the most moving books, but this little girl had such an impact on your life, and the way you tell the story is so unique. Let people in a little.
Well, she came to us after the earthquake. She developed a brain tumor. We thought we'd get her fixed up in American medicine and back to Haiti, and she never went home. And for 2 years, she stayed with us. We traveled around the world trying to find a cure, but we found something else. We found a family. And she really taught us that there's many ways to make a family, and all of us are evidence of that. And sometimes the kids don't have to look like you or talk like you or come from you, and yet we couldn't have loved her anymore if she was our own daughter.
Yeah, it's sort of like you guys decided. I know your wife maybe wanted kids, but the way life goes, sometimes you wait and you find yourself in a situation, right? But it's like you found even more than that, didn't you?
Yeah, and you mentioned that thing about carrying, and when I had to carry Chica towards the end of her life, we were coloring one time, and I popped up. I said, I'm late for work. And she said, no, stay in color. I said, Chica, I got to go. It's my job. And she said, no, it's not. Your job is carrying me.
Wow.
And I realized not only is she being funny, which she always was, but it's so true. Our job is to carry children, and certainly sick children and poor children.
And you have done that with the orphanage, which you have remained involved with since the earthquake in 2010.
I operated.
Right. I mean, this is your calling, it seems.
Yeah, this is going to be my last act. I'm there every month. We have now 52 kids. We have 47. We added 5 this summer, and we educate them and bring them to get them college educated.
And 2 of the kids in the orphanage are Chica's biological siblings, right?
Yes. After her funeral, we found them and we brought them in.
Well, the book is written in such a beautiful way. You will be changed when you read it. So we wish you the best of luck with this one, Mitch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Again, the book is called Finding Chica. It's so worth every second that you'll spend with it. You can purchase it at today.com/shop.
And all the proceeds go to
the orphanage.
The orphanage.
Yeah.
Coming up, a performance from Hamilton's Leslie Odom Jr. You're not going to want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Through ups and downs, you made the sacrifice.
Do you push through migraine? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm great.
Imagine what you can do with more migraine-free days. When you're not fighting through migraine, imagine the possibilities. Once monthly Emgality is a preventive treatment for migraine in adults. It's specifically developed to help give you more migraine-free days. With Emgality, about 60% of people have their migraine days cut in half or more. Don't use if allergic to Emgality. Allergic reactions such as itching, rash, hives, and trouble breathing can occur even days after using. Common side effects include injection site reactions.
Let's do it again soon.
Ask your doctor about Emgality and imagine more migraine-free days.
Find something incredible from somewhere amazing. Unique selection, unbelievable prices. Home Goods, go finding.
There it is, the coffee ring. It's been sitting there all week. And just like that, it's shining. Look at you. Beautify it with Pledge. SC Johnson.
Spread a little love today. Spread a little love my highway. Spread a little something to
Philadelphia cream cheese, made with fresh milk and real cream, makes your recipes their holiday favorites. The holidays are made with Philly. Did you know even the cleanest looking cars can smell musty? That's because odors trapped in your car's soft surfaces get released and are then circulated by your AC system. To stop the cycle of odors, try Febreze car vent clips. Febreze stops the circulation of musty air by trapping and eliminating lingering odor molecules for up to 30 days of fresh, clean air. Plus, they come in a range of scents, including extra light. Stop the cycle of odors in your car with Febreze car vent clips. Brand power, helping you buy better.
Wait a minute. A heart and my Honey Nut Cheerios? I like that. And they can help lower cholesterol? Well, now I'm in love.
Chicago Med.
We gotta go, let's go.
All new Wednesday.
Next Mel. Outrageous sports parents caught on tape.
I may be the most obnoxious coach out there, but I don't care.
We're calling foul. Why are parents psycho?
The Mel Robbins Show, today at 11 on WDTN. Meek Mill's first post-prison interview.
Something is not working.
How did a rapper become a symbol for criminal justice reform?
God put me in a position to be the voice for the voiceless.
Next Dateline. Today at 3 on WDTN.
Want quality flooring installed quickly? It's the Stock Super Sale at Buddy's. Save up to 40% now. Featuring premium carpet and floors, the most popular colors and styles, and over 4 million square feet of flooring. Up to 40% off. And Buddy's can install immediately. Shop in-home for expert advice, free measurements, and product selection. Special financing too. The Stock Super Sale. Going on now only at Buddy's.
You got a body in the business.
Remember this? Now's the time to winterproof your home. Did you know you lose most of your heat right out the walls in the attic? Think about the difference this little piece
is describing. And you need to make a decision. You're very young. You're 28 years old. You are probably looking at 60 years or more stretched out in front of you, where this could be in your rearview mirror and be just a bad memory that you put behind you if you decide right now, I am sick to death of putting up with this from myself. Because when people make a change, it's not when somebody else wants them to. It's not when they think they're supposed to. It's not when they're expected to. It's when they look in the mirror and say, I am so sick of this crap from myself, I will not take it for another second, of another minute, of another day. That's when you'll make a change and not before. Are you there?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
This ain't just a TV show. Like, just real life. This is how it is in the hood.
A teenage gangster.
His ain't got me on camera. No face, no case.
How long did it take you to learn this accent?
I didn't.
No, you go in and out of an accent.
Because I'm trying to sound proper on TV.
You have 5 felony counts against you, right?
That's actually why I came to talk to you, Dr. Phil. So if you was in my shoes, what would you do?
I would make a choir boy look like a thug.
That's tomorrow.
Closed captioning provided by Cheese.
No paying a fortune. New nighttime clear liners. Only at SmileDirectClub.com.
The quicker picker-upper. Ashley Home Store's Veterans Day sale is going on now. Hurry in and get up to 30% off or 0% interest for 6 whole years. Shop and save today. Only at America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Ashley Home Store. This is all.
Here's to you, the tradition keepers, the celebration starters, the finders of one-of-a-kind belongings, even sold by real people that reflect who we are. And here's to you, the givers. Shop Etsy.com. Free shipping on millions of items.
In 2 days, don't miss the movie that has everyone talking.
Such a gifted boy. Where have you been hiding?
King's Don't Sleep Radar.
Lovingly crafted, a whole hazelnut dipped in smooth chocolate.
Holy cow!
Mama, Mama.
Why do I keep falling asleep during the day?
What's making me so tired? I kept asking myself these questions. It felt like I was more than tired. Then I was diagnosed with narcolepsy. There are 5 major symptoms. I waited too long to take action, but you don't have to. Visit morethantired.com now. Take the narcolepsy symptom screener and find a sleep specialist to share your results. Don't wait. Visit morethantired.com today.
I just finished months of chemo. But I don't want to talk about months. I want to talk about years. Treatments have gotten better, so I'm hoping for good years ahead. That's thanks to research funded by the American Cancer Society. The same folks giving me free rides to treatments, insurance advice, and a place to stay during chemo. I need that stuff like you don't know. And now that you do, please give at cancer.org.
The holidays are so jam-packed, it can be tricky to fit everything in, but Angelina W. knows that the gift of away can help. I was able to pack 20 outfits, 2 pairs of shoes, and all my makeup into the bigger carry-on. You're almost as good at packing as I am good at looking good. This holiday season, everyone wants to get away.
It's so easy to fill on Poshmark. You just pick out your item, snap a couple of photos, and boom, it's up for sale. When I look at my old clothes now, I see dollar signs. Just this month, I've made a couple $100 on Poshmark just filling items out of my closet.
Download the free Poshmark app now.
This is a clear aligner. Actually, it's a nighttime clear aligner. They're new and only available at Smile Direct Club. Go from a smile like this to a smile like this while you sleep for 60% less than braces. New nighttime clear aligners, only at Smile Direct Club.
Sure, a resume is a great way to see someone's experience, but you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and a resume. Like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. It's no wonder Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Post your next job at Indeed.com/skills and try skill tests for free.
Holy cow! Month after month, I'm doing it all. The supplements, veggies, the water, but I still have recurring constipation, belly pain, straining, and bloating. My doctor said I could have a real medical condition called IBS-C.
For my recurring constipation and belly pain from IBS-C, I said yes to Linzess.
Linzess treats adults with IBS with constipation. Linzess is not a laxative. It works differently. It helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel block. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
I'm doing it all, and I said yes to Linzess. Ask your doctor about Linzess.
Celebs reveal their paranormal encounters. There is a ghost that sits on the end of my bed. It's their 15 minutes of fear.
I was freaked out.
All new series Famously Afraid, tonight at 10 on Travel Channel and Travel Channel Go. When paranormal investigator George Acosta tries to rid malicious entities plaguing a man in Texas, he becomes the target of their fury.
I shall not run. The spirit actually came towards Mr. Acosta.
And I went, Mary said she saw the spirit went through me and out through me. It knocked me down.
He was in pain. You can tell that it was doing something to him.
It was out to get me, to hurt me.
The entity vanishes, but the spiritual battle is taking its toll on George.
Be on the path of righteousness.
Anytime you combat evil, it takes a big toll on your body because it's stealing your energy. They're like vampires, the spirits.
He was soaked in sweat, having a hard time catching his breath. And at this point, I was like, are we going to be able to get rid of this?
George has to summon every last ounce of strength to keep going.
I felt evil was going to try to attack me again. I felt fear, but I was not going to give up. I was going to continue doing my cleansing.
Knowing this might be the last chance he has to remove both the entity and the curse, George calls for Paul to join them.
Lord is my shepherd.
We started praying more for my husband because he was the one that was being attacked.
But the evil entities are not going quietly.
I told those spirits, they don't belong there. They need to move on.
A part of me was afraid that we weren't going to be able to see the spirit.
We're going to get them out of there, one way or the other. Their time was up.
Bear, you are just rude. Did you know that? You're rude.
The way he was able to defeat it, I had never seen that before. Never.
There was a calmness in the atmosphere.
Hello, people.
Pre-bill. It's fine.
Believe it or not, from that point on, my husband.
I feel very, very blessed that I was able to help this young couple at their worst nightmare.
The experience also has a profound effect on George, changing the way he carries out future investigations.
There's an old saying, this is the won't kill you, it will make you stronger. Don't bet your heart. No.
America's top ghost hunters relive their most extreme assignments.
This house is beyond haunted.
Hardened veterans of the paranormal, these are the cases that truly tested them.
Oh, my goodness.
There was an evil presence in that house.
Oh, yeah, that's what I didn't tell you.
Dude, I got goosebumps.
I have to brush my damn teeth. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Come on. Up. Up. Oh, good boy. Good boy.
Where there was so much activity going on simultaneously.
Yeah.
Spirit or something much worse.
This is now not just a regular malevolent haunting. This is something bigger.
And in Massachusetts, a troubled spirit reveals a shocking family tragedy that's been hidden for centuries.
Did you have a daughter? Indication was yes.
On a quiet street in Atchison, Kansas, stands the home of Tony and Deborah Pigman. But their lives are anything but peaceful.
I need to brush my damn teeth.
Since they moved in, troubling events have beset the family. At first, it's small things. Pictures are turned upside down on the walls. Objects get mysteriously moved when backs are turned. Tony begins to have vivid recurring dreams. A girl who calls herself Sally tries to pull him out of bed. In the morning, Tony notices he has burn marks where Sally had grabbed his arm. When Tony mentions the news to his neighbors, You shocked to learn that the child of the house's previous occupants had an imaginary friend named Sally. Then, the activity played the something more violent.
It was Tony that was experiencing this stuff. Things that were happening to him physically. Scratch marks on his arm, back, bruises would appear. He would have burning sensations on his thigh. He got pushed back by a force that just knocked him back. Tony, what's going on? Leave me alone! He felt enraged inside. He thought he was going to do harm to his wife.
Confused and terrified, the victims called several paranormal investigators.
They had various groups come in and tried to help them. Nothing seemed to be working no matter who came in.
Increasingly desperate, in 2007, they contacted investigators for
Oh my gosh, my arm.
Joseph John has been actively hunting ghosts for over 15 years. As a child, Joe had a terrifying encounter with a spirit, and he's been on the quest to find the truth about the supernatural ever since.
What I've learned is to never underestimate the power of what you cannot see.
I see you.
Joe was moved by Tony Pittman's experience.
I'm listening to them talk. I can hear the pain in his voice as he's telling us the story, and his wife was telling us, and I just felt like, you know what? I want to help these people.
Joe flies to Kansas with colleague Steve Pate to begin an investigation. But when they arrive, Joe takes an unexpected
Okay, I heard this bit.
I'm like, this is it. I mean, everything is warm and cold. How could it be any activity there at all?
According to Deborah, Joe drew pictures from investigators.
Well, look at some of the early evidence. You know, I don't see anything definitive of anything evil in the pictures. Whatever is in here can't be anything harmful.
Then, the mood changes dramatically.
We started smelling lilacs. It is believed that because we can't physically see spirits, that sometimes when their presence is around, when they can smell that cigar smoke or a certain person, something to signify that particular spirit. But for us, it was lilacs. And Tony got the shirt. He said, "Is there anything on my back?" And I'm looking at it, and it's a fresh scratch mark with blood dripping. And I'm just sitting there shocked. I'm like, did this just happen? For Tony to actually physically be scratched, there was definitely something evil going on in the Sally house. Could there be some conflicting battle going on between spirits and Tony? I wasn't sure, but obviously at that point I wanted to find out.
Joe and Steve begin the investigation in the master bedroom, scene of Tony's first encounter with a spirit named Sally.
It would be warm, and then I would take a step further, and all of a sudden it would just change. I mean, it would get cold, really cold, and I'd step back, and it was warm temperature again. We had my digital thermometer, and it was originally like 67, but where that cold spot was, it was about 45, and we felt it. That's an indicator that there's something paranormal there. An energy that is draining the energy in the house, which drops that temperature down.
Where's my sister?
Just letting us know that.
Joe asks if there's any other areas of paranormal activity in the house. They lead him to an area previous investigators have called the Vortex.
We would have activity, a portal, a supernatural bus stop where spirits can come to and fro. A portal to me is a hole to another world. Maybe something in the past, something in the future, or an alternate universe. And out of nowhere, I started capturing orbs. An orb is a ball of energy, and a spirit orb is the energy of that spirit. What was unusual about it is as I zoomed in, it looked like a face inside that orb. Something I had not experienced before.
I've seen hundreds of orbs and never seen one with a face before. This particular one, and the face was shaped like a skull. You could actually see the sockets where the eyes were, and the shape in the mouth.
While Joe tries to make sense of the evidence, Tony yells out in pain.
He was being targeted.
Tony had fresh blood was coming down. I mean, when you go through this and you can see it happen, and you know it's hard to believe that it's happening.
When you're investigating paranormal and you sense any kind of evil, it's scary. It's terrifying.
At that point, I'm like, okay, guys, let's get Tony out of here.
Concerned for everyone's safety, Joe calls a halt to the investigation.
To come up with evidence is one thing, but to see somebody get physically harmed, that's another thing. I was like, you know what? We've got to close it up. So we left. We went to the hotel.
But the ghostly encounters are not over just yet.
Well, we went back to the hotel. I was still shocked that he was attacked. I mean, obviously, seeing those scratch marks on his forehead and on his back and the orbs with the faces, it was overwhelming. When I got out of the shower, hung the towel on the chair. The uninvestigated comes in and we're talking about what happened. The towel that was on the chair lifted up and fell to the ground. There was something there following us. I had never been on a case where there was so much activity going on simultaneously.
The next night, Joe and Steve return to the Pickmans. Steve reads from the Bible for extra protection.
Because that must be like, it'll never hurt to open up a Bible. Of course, that's my beliefs. Grown up Catholic. But as far as that kind of help, I have no idea.
They cautiously head into the basement.
Proceeding, going around in that area. All of a sudden, I hear Tony's been attacked again.
Holy cow!
This hot rod runs on unleaded. This mom runs in the new 2 for $4 super snacks with DQ. I can make you match my 2 favorite snacks for just $4. That's pure snack power.
DQ. Happy, take good.
Wait a minute. A heart and my Honey Nut Cheerios? I like that. And they can help lower cholesterol? Well, now I'm in love.
So how did this happen?
Now pronouncing husband and wife. Make this the bride.
Get your birdsie ready.
United Healthcare helps connect you to care whenever you need it.
So I'm not going to need stitches then?
No, just the antibiotic cream. Oh, watch out.
United Healthcare.
I did some early shopping this year. One for you, one for me.
I love it. I got us a little something too. Yeah. One for you and one for me.
I love it.
Oh, actually, that was supposed to be for me.
I love it.
I like that.
Step up to GMC and get over 10,000 total value on this next generation Sierra Cab SLT, or get 18% below MSRP on all next generation Sierra double cab models. We are professional grade GMC.
My turn. It shows up at the end of the year. Coffee Mate seasonal flavors.
It really makes the season.
Peppermint mocha.
It's related to nature.
Pumpkin spice.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah. Try Coffee Mate seasonal flavors. Coffee's perfect holiday mate.
At today's Best Western, stay 2 nights and get a free night at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. 1 night, 2 nights, free night. Book now at bestwestern.com.
What beats next day shipping? Getting what you need the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free store pickup or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff. Ace is the place with the help of hardware folks.
With the money I've made on Poshmark, I've been able to pay for all our family's vacations. I could pay for my wedding just on what I've made from Poshmark. I made over $10,000 and I was able to buy my new car. Download the free Poshmark app.
This is a clear aligner. Actually, it's a nighttime clear aligner. They're new and only available with Smile Direct. Go from a smile like this to a smile like this, or from this to this. While you sleep. Nighttime clear aligners are new and only available at Smile Direct. Join over 500,000 satisfied customers. Only at Smile Direct.
There is a ghost that sits on the end of my bed, unknowing previously afraid.
It can't be anything but a UFO.
I felt her behind me, in front of me, beside me.
All New Series Famously Afraid starts tonight at 10 on Travel Channel and Travel Channel Go. Homeowner Tony Pickman is being relentlessly attacked by an evil spirit, and paranormal investigator Joe Citron seems powerless to help.
All of a sudden, Tony's been attacked again. And there's just blood dripping. And I noticed he'd been scratched on the arm. It was definitely demonic in nature.
When demonic spirits attack, they're trying to possess someone's body so they can be you. When something that dark has a hold on a place, it's hard to get rid of.
Despite not knowing the true identity of the demonic spirit, Joe knows he cannot risk Tony getting hurt again. He decides to cleanse the house immediately.
We had a game plan, went through each room and prayed. We anointed the windows with holy oil. Whatever was in there, we wanted it out. We wanted it away from this house and away from Deb and Tony.
The basement, they're met with a malevolent atmosphere.
There was something down there that didn't want us there.
Thou shalt not be afraid, for I enter by night.
It was the presence of people.
In the face of the demon, Joe and Steve must summon all their courage to continue the cleanse.
As we prayed, I could feel that atmosphere and the change and break. And that airiness was lifting.
I got measuring spoons, it's really good.
We all looked at each other and said,
Tablespoon, an 8, a fork, a half, 1.
truthfully,
1 tablespoon, half teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon, a fourth a teaspoon,
scariest part of the investigation,
an eighth of a teaspoon.
get attacked, and I have no explanation as to why. The Sally House had such an impact on Joe, he doesn't even like to talk about it. The Sally House is the most intense case that I've done, because it made me realize that it's not just about getting your evidence and walking through houses with your cameras. It made me realize that the most important part of investigation, especially when you're dealing with something dark, is the safety of the family and the people you're trying to help, not the evidence you're trying to gain. For me, it's probably the top case that I've ever done.
Coming up, when called to a haunted historic house, one investigator runs into a troubled spirit, desperate to reveal a shocking family secret that's been hidden for centuries.
This individual wants to communicate something, and they have people who are now listening to them.
But first, a teenage girl is attacked by an entity that is not what it first appears to be. In Elora, a small town in rural Ontario, An ordinary house stands on an ordinary street, but what is happening inside is far from ordinary. In March 2006, the Frank family starts to hear angry growling coming from the walls. Doors slam closed with no explanation, and heavy footsteps pace the hallways when no one else is at home. Soon, the activity takes a frightening turn. The family's 14-year-old daughter, Alice, is held down and choked by something in her sleep. But it's not just once. Alice is attacked night after night.
Something is pushing down on her chest at night, holding her down in her bed. So she's feeling terrorized, and she's nauseous, and she tries to close her eyes to get it to stop.
Terrified and desperate, the family contacts a paranormal investigator. Michelle Durocher is the founder of Canada's most haunted paranormal research group, a veteran of over 50 investigations, many involving child victims. Michelle always acts quickly because the young are so vulnerable.
When I get emails that pertain to children, it always becomes prioritized because things, if you don't catch them on time, can escalate a lot more serious. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, what's going to happen to this girl if I don't nip this right off? There's something going on here. I need to know what it is. I need to know why. I need to make it stop.
Sarah drops everything to investigate before it's too late.
For this investigation, I asked my colleague Patrick to join me, and I asked one of our psychic mediums to come along as well. I had not been in the house a minute, and then all of a sudden I'm in this cold spot. That in itself is a little bit unusual. I was actually sitting here like this. Like I was freezing.
It was really cold, and there was a furnace going, but it was extremely temperature wise, still freezing cold. Freezing cold is always a sense of something moving around. There could be ghost activity.
Probably about 10 minutes in, the medium picks up that there's something behind me. I feel a cold spot again.